Patrice, Amegashie, Helen, Appiah, Ampofo already in studio. We've been doing some hour lessons already this month. I just wanted to mention the one that I forgot.
You remember? Okay.
SHS, we did ever. So the name Akpalu, right?
Yeah.
That people usually call Apalu.
Yeah.
But you've got to get the KP.
Yeah,
KP. Yeah, Akpalu.
Yeah.
Like, so people can say Panla, but they don't want to say Akpalu.
No, even some people are not able to, especially those of the Akan descent. They can't combine the K and P. So, it's like Kwalebu. You know that kind of thing. They can't say
what the logo.
So if you can say Pan logo, you can say Akpalu.
It's a mouthful for So that is so. And I will come back to your points, please. I don't understand the reason when somebody is able to or not able to pronounce something appropriately or rightly, you would rather acquiesce to what the person is pronouncing. So people write their name Apalu instead of the Akpalu.
They say they want to make life simple.
They want to make it simple for
all.
all. No, maintain, keep.
Listen, Arnold Schwarzenegger has not allowed anybody to dilute his name.
Yes.
If we can pronounce Arnold Schwarzenegger, we can
and some of the names
Akpalu.
Which has a very terrible meaning.
Oh, I see.
Oh yes, black nigga.
Is that what Schwarzenegger means?
His name is derogatory, but he still wears it. You know. Yes.
So it is Akpalu Akpa. Gogoduto, Bibiabi Uchona Ovio, Gogoabi, Ube Akpalu le. That's like that's the name. That's so when you say Akpalu, like LPG's Akpalu and all, that's the sort of appellation or whatever it is that follows. So my name, for instance, Egbeta means because of today. But if you think about it deeply, because of today, there will be a sentence that follows, right? So those are some of the things in relation to Patrice's name, Amegashie.
Yeah.
You know,
even Egbeta, you can really explain it again.
Yeah.
Egbe Yatanuka.
Exactly.
So, also there be incident.
You understand? So you can depends on how you even decide to.
So if you don't ask the person to tell you the real meaning of the name, you just be throwing it about left, right, center.
You might be misguided.
Yeah,
well, for this hour lesson this morning, I say
Let's get into the papers.
All right, we have a selection in front of us. As we always do, we'll run through the front pages and then we'll get into the meat of the matter. And boy, oh boy, do you want to stay with us all throughout the show today. We're going to be seeking to unpack some very meaty matters.
I pray you stay so.
Please do. The BNFT this morning, that's the Business and Financial Times, has this to say. Government weighs lifting grain exports ban amid some 70,000 MC rice glut. Also, robust investor confidence in economy returns as local investments hit some $816 million US. Strong GDP growth masked decades-long productivity decline. And Mansu gains SEC sandbox approval, adds to existing BOG credentials. UBA appoints Linda Queno as first female board chairperson. And there's a feature here on shaping organizational performance and profitability through strategic leadership. The News Center newspaper this morning. Amankwa solves Commonwealth Hall water crisis.
He's seeking to be member of parliament for Ayaso West Wogon on the ticket of the NPP. I know who the individual is.
I see, because there's a picture to go along with that. I was going to ask, who exactly is this individual? His name is Samuel Owusu Amankwa, inaugurating a borehole for Commonwealth Hall. It's on the front page.
The Legon students, no small enjoyment for them.
He inaugurated the borehole.
Yeah, because...
So you see some sort cutting going on here for the borehole.
Oh, he solves Commonwealth Hall water crisis. Oh, that is.
Because there was a water crisis at Commonwealth, so he solved it.
He solved it. That's good. That's good. These are the kind of developmental things that we want to see. So, if he wants to stand as a member of parliament,
yes,
and these are the things he wants to start off with. Let's see.
I'm hearing John Dumelo has been providing free water to the students as well. So,
but he has solved it. So maybe it's a tanker that comes to
provide
discharge. Exactly. So this one has solved a problem.
I understand it's a competition as to who is providing.
I am so excited about this. Those within the environs are going to benefit from all these competitions, and I love it. They should keep on doing it. You know, they should give them a lot more. They should provide solar for the students. So anytime there's power outage, students can have enough light to read and learn. Campus, they can work on campus. They should provide street lighting for them. I mean, make the life of the students quite comfortable. When I visited one of the halls not too long ago, that was about 3 weeks ago, and I was like, oh, so this is what we're exposing our children to, that you have to be encamped within a certain confines. So when you're growing, I don't know how we want to train the minds of people. And these are the teenage years and the time that they need to have a lot of impressions about what to see when they come out into real life. So if this is how we cocoon them, then it beats my mind. But anyway, congratulations to Amankwa.
Yes,
big congratulations to
Amankwa. By 2028, they'll be walking on streets paved with gold. The competition will be even greater.
Yeah,
let's move on.
and this is just Samuel Amankwa is seeking to be the candidate on the ticket of the NPP.
So in fact, he's not the chosen one yet.
No, and he's facing competition from a young lady who is what's the name? I can't believe it.
Really?
I can't remember that. I'll get the name.
Okay, that's
what I'm saying, that come 2028, the children will really enjoy because you've got the internal competition that is getting them to perform, and then he'll have to face his opponents on the other side. And I know the goodies will be coming and coming and coming.
The goodies will be coming.
50 pick forms for 11 NPP positions, and you've got some prominent faces here pictured. Nana Komia, first National Vice Chairman; Dennis Miracles Abuaji, Communications Director aspirant. You've got Richard Ahiagba, first National Vice Chairman aspirant. What is his current position? He's the Director of
Communications. Yeah,
that's right. That's his position now, but that's what he's vying for, amongst a host of others. A fierce competition come October 3rd.
Yeah.
That's when we're looking towards. Of course,
you didn't mention my favorite person's name.
Who is that?
The one in the blue.
Boache Jacko.
Oh, absolutely.
Chairman aspirant.
Sharp.
He's looking sharp in his blue suit.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
All right.
He went to a good school, baby.
I see. We'll see what happens, baby.
So Barbara Kwashiga is the name I was looking for.
Okay.
She's
Do we know
Barbara?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Do you know her?
Oh, yeah.
Has she also been providing?
Yeah, she's pretty. She's sweet.
Has she been providing some goodies as well?
Yeah, she's begun some groundworks as well on the university campus. So it's intense.
Fierce competition internally and then externally.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll go back to school. I will go back to school.
That's a sort of competition that's on the Lagos campus now.
I see.
Oh wow!
If you want
Students
to
would
be
enjoy.
Member of Parliament.
It's a school they
Free bus rides and all of that.
What's that school they be?
Yes,
class
the ball.
Class the ball. 29.1 billion Ghana cedis gold losses in 4 years. The role of Gold Board and Bank of Ghana explained. And I'm hoping that we are able to put this matter to rest. All throughout the week last week, we sought to do so, bringing you the analysis and breaking down the intel, breaking down all of the big English, because ultimately this concerns you and I. It's our money, how those monies are being spent, and if we're prudently going about operations in a way that mitigates and minimizes said losses. So you can also go back on YouTube and play some of these important conversations. Dr. Sarkodie questions 2 billion Gold Board tax waiver. These are some of the questions that we had said that it would have been more beneficial for the New Patriotic Party to stand on, because then it diluted the conversation. It sent the conversation into a whole different path, and today we go on one of those paths that this conversation has sent us
Which
to.
I didn't want it to get on, to be very honest.
But
The Gold Board matter.
Yeah.
Oh, we shall.
The Daily Guide this morning. Afoko files NPP National Chairmanship nomination on Tuesday. Reverend Wengam re-elected AG Ghana General Superintendent, and 50 battle for NPP top post. The same faces that I mentioned to you earlier. They're also pictured here on the Daily Guide. Supreme Court affirms, this is the heading, Supreme Court affirms selective vacation sittings, dismisses injunction. Not my words. This is on the front page of the Daily Guide. And Mahama rescues Adamus resources. It's another topic on the agenda today. Stick with us. Finally, I've got the Ghanaian Times here in front of me. Nation attracts 2.62 billion FDI in 2025. Manufacturing leads investment drive. Minister orders police to crush illegal security groups. Minority seeks full reconciliation of IMF Gold Board accounts. GMET warns of funding crisis over GCAA arrears. And Patrice, you have some reservations when it comes to how the weather is deciphered by Ghana. You know that over the years, they've been owed some huge sums of money from government. They have some equipment that they use. And shout out to Felicity Ahafianyo, chief forecaster with the Ghana Met. She let us know last year or the year before, actually it might have been 2024 actually, that there's a special equipment that they use to make sure that the weather is correctly predicted. And that machine had broken down and they were owed millions by government and they hadn't recouped that. So sometimes when we're hard on GMEDs, they're doing the best they can. They have to manually sometimes go to the field and be measuring the sun. Look at the sun.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yes, because they're owed monies from government. They need to repurchase or fix this equipment that they use to accurately predict the weather. So it's not always that they're not doing a good job. They also have some shortcomings because of financial constraints.
Absolutely.
That's well enough.
053, let me just announce these numbers quickly. 053-220 0927 053-220-0927. That's our WhatsApp number. Please do not call. It's the number by which you can share your thoughts and messages with us. We're streaming live on Facebook, our handle 3FM927. You can send a message there as well, and so can you on YouTube as well. Where we're streaming. Patrice, you have a number?
Yeah, I have a few of them. So online. Republic Press this morning says 50 battle for NPP national executive posts. Some assemblies collecting fees at Galamsey sites. Ken Ashigbe alleges. Nursing mother dies at Nsako Hospital over alleged oxygen shortage. Now, soldiers assault 26-year-old man at Chebi. Supreme Court clears way for legal vacation. Criminal trials dismisses Opon Kruma's injunction bid. And the banner headline, that pictures Sami Jemfi and Appiah marking. Gold board losses. 22 billion Ghana cedis question hunts NDC as party turns guns on Appiah marking. Now, the custodian this morning says Ghana signs 163 million euros debt restructuring deal with Belgium. Saglemi, NPP vindicated on private sector model upon Nkrumah. This is a matter to be discussed. Minority vows to probe 22 billion cedi gold trading laws. Dismisses diversionary extortion claims. And then Chief of Staff others call for clean environment. Pictures Dr. Julius Debra, the Chief of Staff. 50 seek 11 NPP national executive positions. And Gordon quits NPP communications director race. Endorses Miracles Abuaji.
Who is this?
Gordon. Have it. Check him out. Yeah, he's going where the money is, you know. When they show their head like that.
Gordon
Bediako, that's it. So, the Daily Democrat this morning says 24-hour economy is about economic transformation. This is attributed to Guzitano. Closak mourns passing of Executive Secretary Bampo Ado. Oh, too bad.
Yeah.
May so rest in peace.
Friday.
Yeah. Egyptian ambassador commends Ghana arm wrestling team. And President Mahama's Kingston directive spurs action at GMA. Honorable Dr. Kingsley Ajiman donates medical equipment and settles patients' bills at Chebi Government Hospital. GMTF Atlantic Life Sciences partner to cut drug costs. And the banner headline says, President Mahama intervenes in Adamus Land Ministry standoff. Gives Adamus reprieve. Really? Okay. This is quite interesting. Quite interesting.
The reprieve?
Yeah, because the Adamus matter is a very serious matter. I just have decided not to wade into it because of one or two things. I thought I loved the way it was going until now that they've got a reprieve. So I will enter. I will enter this matter.
Well, it's part of the subject matters for conversation.
Oh, this Adamus matter, I will
But we'll
enter.
get into the details. You're done with the papers, right?
Yes, I am.
Let me take us online quickly. 3news.com. Andre Ayew confirms he's not ready to retire, reveals 2 or 3 clubs in the running. One diagnosis is diagnosis every 8 minutes. Macmillan reports record UK prostate cancer rates. Salary adjustment are automatic. GES clarifies process for promoted teachers and Bahari Dam spillage imminent. NADMO activates emergency protocols. The big banner story on myjoyonline.com. NPP MP summon Appiah marking today over Samit Jemfi's allegations. Parliament resumes today for 5-day sitting amid pending ministerial nominations. Republic Bank, Habitat Fair Clinic. Government to replace grid-powered street lights with solar systems nationwide. That's according to Governor Abuja. Jesus was accused. He kept quiet. Appiah marking on Samit Jemfi allegation. Middle East tensions put Ghana's reserves under pressure. BOG governor, and we couldn't afford prepaid credit after I lost 2012 election. Obobia Daku saying this. I'll get you into that story a lot later. City Newsroom. Parliament reconvenes today after Bagben's recall. The House is reconvening today to consider urgent business. I suspect there will be vetting, but not quite clear when. If the vetting will happen during this period as well. Government targets $12 billion pipeline investment for jobs production. Xenophobic attacks. MTN Ghana commits 20 million cedis to support returnees. Okay.
How much? $20 million.
20 million cedis.
Right.
20 million cedis. Adamus welcomes 12-month government-backed plan to revive mine. NPP must restore discipline integrity to regain support in Ashanti region. Bampuado's death, a major loss to organized labor. Fair Wages Salaries Commission. Newly promoted teachers don't need to apply for salary adjustment. And police arrest suspect in 1.1 million cedis fake gold scam in Brekum. Ghana Web, you put me to shame. Martinamidu slams Mahama over corruption fight. 50 pick forms to contest 11 NPP executive positions, 5 I chairmanship. Elikem Kotoko reveals he nearly took his life twice after losing $497,000 in June 3 floods. My family is not stingy. We won't steal from Ghana to share. Asiedun Kitia's son. Ekufuado terminated my appointment as MC without any explanation. Miracles Abuaji is saying this as well. So those are the details on the online portals of the many things to happen today. Special good mornings as well to the Minister for Interior, Muntaka Mubarak.
That's right.
Yes. Muntaka Mubarak. He's expected to address the country a lot later today. On the government accountability series, he will provide a bit more on the update on election-related violence which resulted in some deaths, right? That's a lot later this morning at 11 a.m. Mohammed Muntaka Mubarak is the Minister for Interior, and so we'll be on the lookout for that a lot later today as well. But special mornings to him and the guys at the Interior Ministry. I think in the aftermath of the incendiary comments which were being made, personally he made a number of trips to places to calm the waters as well. And so, worthy of mention. But let's get into the details.
Yes.
Let's start off.
All right. So, Patrice, I know this one is
of interest to him.
Of interest to you. So, this is Mahama rescues Adamus resources. I'll read a little portion here. It's captured on page 6 of the Daily Guide, and we'd love for you to wade into this matter and provide some clarity for those who are unfamiliar with the details of this story. Now, the presidency has directed the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, the Minerals Commission, and Adamus Resources Limited to present a 12-month roadmap for turning around the Adamus mine. The directive includes the formation of a 6-member joint management team comprising 3 members from Adamus and 3 from government to supervise the turnaround. A statement issued Friday evening by the Minister of State in charge of government communications and presidential spokesperson Felix Kwakye Ofosu. And the agreement was reached after a meeting at the presidency aimed at resolving the dispute between the two parties and salvaging one of the few operating in indigenous large-scale mines. Patrice, how does that sit with you?
Well, it's very difficult for me to wrap my head around this because I have a little background story to this Adamus mine. I think it was given birth to by a company called, I think, in Govu or something. How I wish I had his permission to say this, but I'll try as much as possible to clear the air on this matter. So, in all the reportage that we've been seeing concerning Adamus mine, we only see pictures. We don't see names. Who is the owner of Adamus mine? We don't see. Is that Angela List? Is that Angela List?
I mean, she's the one.
Great. So why have we eliminated Angela List's name from the thing? Who was Angela List married to? How did she come about mining? How did it all start? Oh. Who owns the company? So there's been a rift going on. Yes.
Those are.
Yes.
How do I put it? Those are things that I'm sure. I mean, who she's married to.
No, the reason I ask so is the story behind this whole saga has to do with the fact that it is being alleged that Angela is taking advantage of the rightful owner because the man once upon a time was married to her.
Okay, those are
great.
Claims.
So those
are claims we should not even get into to start off with.
No,
you know
that is why I said it is alleged that is what happened. Because the matter has been in court for a very long time. Hold on. It's been in court for a very long time. I have been in meetings when discussions were held relating to this matter.
You know the reason why I'm holding you on is that I don't see the correlation between that and what's happening.
I think we're on the journey. So
we need a background.
We might get to the destination.
I'm giving the background to it.
Okay.
So now, if she owns it totally, if Adamus owns it totally, why would the president's office or office of the president say that they have to work in tandem with a committee that has been set up by the president?
Which is the reason why I was saying that I wanted to hold you on, because the basis for Adamus's license being revoked was that they were engaged in illegal mining. Mm-hmm. That was the claim. In fact, you can look up the context
and some tax infractions.
Exactly.
Yes.
That was the basis upon which there
has to be a basis.
Their license was revoked. There was a window of opportunity in the initial stages when the Minerals Commission was seeking to take over it, and afterwards it didn't quite work out. And then we saw the complete revocation, and now we're seeing the government, the presidency step in and saying there's a 12-month period to which they can iron out. That's why I'm asking. I don't see the correlation between ownership and what is the basis for which the license was revoked. You get my point?
I'm sure Patrice will be able to.
No, if he can,
if this was the ownership, this square was the ownership, and it is owned by somebody else that you have what's the name, partnership with, so to speak. And the person says, no, I'm not giving you full authority over the land. And you decide to shift here and come and mine. Would that not be illegal mining? There is a rift over the original occupation, the land that has been earmarked.
That's what resulted in the illegal mining.
And somebody trying to bypass another person using forged documents. That is the information that I have to get to this point.
That is the alleged information.
The alleged information that I have. So it goes beyond what we are all seeing, that the minister has revoked the license and so on and so forth. There is something else that is underneath the whole Angela List's minister matter.
I'll have you bring a bit more in terms of details.
No problems. That's why I said I didn't have his permission to speak, but I know a lot about this. Other matters I cannot say, but it can be proven with pictures and videos of where she's been, who she's with, just to outwit the system. But we'll leave it here for now.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
A bit more in terms of context as to the story as well. Like I was saying, has to do with illegal mining, right? And tax evasion, like Helen added, which resulted in there are those who are asking questions as to why there is even an intervention from the state to start off with. If the suggestion was. Or not suggestion, it's based on evidence and statements and addresses by the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. It's not suggestion, it's factual that they were engaged in some act of illegal mining.
So let me give you a little background.
Why then does the state decide to intervene when there is a matter of illegal mining?
So let me
because
justify,
we are supposed to be clamping down on activities of illegal mining.
A little bit of it. So the company name is BCM. I think you've seen it around. BCM is, I think, is green, and then there's some line there. So BCM International is jointly owned by Angela Appiah and her husband, Paul Lists. Are you getting me? Mm-hmm. So I think when you go online and you check Angela Lists, you would realize that is where I am coming from. So there was a relationship. That is just what I want to mention.
Okay.
For you to understand that what I was saying, I was also saying that out of jest. There's really something behind. So they were married before. Something happened and somebody bypassed and did a lot of things. So that is where we'll
have to get details to perhaps substantiate a bit more in terms of what is playing out. But there are other stories of interest, and I'm going to take us to myjoyonline.com because there's a suggestion that senior members of the NPP's caucus in Parliament are expected to meet the minority leader, Alexander Afenyo-Markin, this morning in relation to claims of extortion made against him by the CEO of Gold Board. Now, senior members have forced a caucus meeting to demand further answers from the minority leader, Alexander Afenyo-Markin, over allegations leveled against him by Ghana Gold Board Chief Executive, Sami Gyamfi. Now, the understanding is that the meeting scheduled for this morning comes amid growing concerns among some senior MPs, NPP MPs, following the allegation made by Mr. Gyamfi while responding to the claims of losses against Gold Board. Afenyo-Markin has denied the allegations and initially indicated that he was considering legal action over what he described as defamatory attacks, including being labeled an extortionist. However, less than 24 hours after his initial threat, the Futu MP appeared to soften his position when asked whether he would indeed take Mr. Gyamfi to court over the comment. The developments have, however, done little to calm concerns within the NPP parliamentary caucus, with some senior MPs demanding further clarification from their leader. So, there's a latest we understand from Alexander Afenyo-Markin. Fred is going to put that on the screen in relation to that. But this is something I didn't expect to grow the limbs and branches it has grown from. It's a Friday. No, it was on Thursday. Right, I didn't expect it to have gained the limbs, but Afenyo-Markin says it's misinformation and that there is no planned meeting of the senior caucus. He says stop the misinformation. On the contrary, ahead of the reconvening of Parliament, I have summoned my colleagues for our caucus meeting, as routinely done ahead of every meeting of Parliament, to strategize and coordinate our parliamentary business. This is a regular practice of the caucus and should not be misrepresented as anything else, he says. It says it's misinformation, and so there's no special meeting. But even not to take into consideration the meeting, because now he says it's not the case, it's a surprise. I am particularly surprised that this has The allegations have been doubled down on, and we are where we are at this particular point in time. I didn't think there was a lot to it when Sammy Gyamfi mentioned. So he didn't call him extortionist, right? He just suggested at that news conference, using quite a number of adjectives, and extortion was a part of it. It was deliberate then. Now we are understanding. It was deliberate then, and it's followed through up until this morning, where even now there are suggestions that, look, there's a meeting, there's concern here, there's concern there, and all of that. Patrice.
Well, for me, the point is that if Joy FM misinformed the public based on the publication they put out there, and Appiah himself has come out to say that the meeting that we had, the caucus meeting that we had, was
yet to happen.
Yes,
it's yet to happen.
He said it was called by him. According to that's what he said. Ahead of reconvening of Parliament, I have summoned my colleagues for our caucus meeting. He did it. So I'm thinking that because they formed a caucus, people were presuming that, hey, they have called Appiah into a meeting. But this is what he is saying as minority leader. And I'll not choose any other story over what he is saying. Unless, of course, anybody who was part of the caucus meeting will come out and say that, no, Appiah is misleading us. We rather called him. He didn't call us. Yeah.
What I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm not even wanting us to speak to the caucus meeting. It's a fact that there is a whole full-blown, there's a petition even by Solomon Owusu and Andrew Appiah.
Well, that is a different matter. Appiah is speaking to a report that is out there that he has been summoned.
Yes. I mean, he's spoken to it. We'll see how that plays out.
No, but we need to correct the narrative that he says he rather summoned the caucus. So let us put it on record that according to Appiah, he, the minority leader, summoned the caucus.
Did Joy FM explain further how they got this supposed intel that the meeting was supposed to be? Because now
it's understanding.
Okay.
And that's where
maybe they got some tip-off that they haven't disclosed in their story. Appiah says that that's not the case. He has rather called the meeting. Today, Parliament is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
We're going to obviously have our eyes and ears on there. But like you were saying, Mawuena, on a separate side, you've got members of the UP party, Solomon Owusu, being one of the petitioners, wading into the conversation, saying that they need answers. And we'll have Solomon Owusu himself, one of the petitioners, joining us on the show, on the program, and we're going to ask him the pertinent questions. Why should this even be of interest to you and I? It's something we'll be seeking to break down today. But there's a summary of the petition that you're seeing on the screen this morning. I think we can get into it when we have our big conversation. Or shall we?
Oh, no, we can get into it.
All right, so there's the alleged $1 million demand. The petition calls for an investigation into allegations that minority leader Alexander Appiah personally or through others attempted to obtain some $1 million from Ghana Gold Board CEO Sammy Gyamfi. Alleged extortion scheme. The petition links the alleged demand to claims of reputational attacks, adverse publicity, political pressure, or threatened official parliamentary action allegedly in exchange for payment or an agreement to stop such conduct. Now, the role of the alleged intermediaries. The petition also cites allegations by NEIP CEO Erica J. about an alleged team using right to information requests to obtain information from public institutions, after which persons connected to the team allegedly acted as negotiators. Investigators are being asked to identify and question any intermediaries. Now, evidence is central. The petitioners acknowledge they do not currently possess the communications or recordings underlying the allegations. They want investigators to obtain statements, phone records, messages, recordings, emails, financial records, and other evidence to establish what actually happened. Potential legal implications. Now, if supported by evidence, the petition says the conduct could potentially raise issues of attempted or completed extortion, corruption, abuse of public office, conspiracy or abetment, depending on the facts established. Now, the call for independent investigation. The petition is asking that the Attorney General, Special Prosecutor, SHRAJ, Police, CID, and Speaker of Parliament to take appropriate steps within their respective mandates. So that's a summary of what the petition entails. And like I said, further into the morning, we'll actually be getting into the details. Why should you even care?
There's a message that comes through. 053 220 0927 053 220 0927, and this one says, good morning, Mawuena. There's no name, but says, good morning, Mawuena and team. There are issues that happened over the weekend that needs addressing. Appiah Markin being alleged to be an extortionist, Sami Jemfi alleging Appiah is an extortionist. People seeing the whole issue as a small boy, in quotes, making a minority leader less is either here nor there to begin with. Samit Jemfi is a big man and a CEO who manages a whole institution, so we should stop seeing him as a small boy, Samit Jemfi. Let's focus on the allegations he makes and deal with it. Finally, both parties must be invited by Iyoko, CID, and OSP, because he who alleges must certainly prove their claims. Kwame Fire in Sampa Valley. You can as well share your thoughts with us, 053-220-0927. I'll check out Facebook as well pretty quickly, but you were on the floor before Patrice, you were getting on the floor before.
Yeah, so the point is that the reason this is of immense interest has to do with one of the three arms of government. So that is Parliament. And Parliament is quite a sensitive instrument in the growth and development pattern of a nation, because all laws invariably emanate from Parliament.
That's right.
And these are people that we have reposed a lot of authority into, such that if a person represents me in Parliament, is representing a constituency of a people of varied backgrounds. Those who believe in the person, those who don't believe in the person, and those who are adamant. The reason this thing is a very crucial thing is that a lot of things go through Parliament. A lot of laws come out of Parliament. A lot of issues are taken through Parliament. A lot of matters are read on the floor by parliamentarians. A lot of private people give access to these parliamentarians in terms of information and things happening, such that it is presented to the Speaker, discussed on the floor of Parliament, and then whatever is done to it comes in as a part of the final issue. So, if it is being alleged that no less a person than the minority leader is seen to be extorting money from an agency, that is Gold Board, then what it means is that it shakes the integrity of the personality, number one, number two, the minority, and three, the entire Parliament. So it means, therefore, by extension, that anybody who has issues with Parliament, or anybody who has issues that should go to Parliament, can influence one way or the other anybody through whom the matter is supposed to go. The reason it is of immense significance that we discuss this matter.
But there are those who are of the opinion that, look, this is to distract from the main conversation. The main conversation which we should be asking is why the 22 billion cedis lost. It's 21.89 billion cedis, but it's running out to 22
and
billion.
what could have been done to mitigate it? How do we perfect the model so that moving forward we have less waste, or a better loss, if you will?
In fact, there's another angle which says that Professor Edusa Akwadia was saying that, look, we are looking at 22. There was some 2 billion more, I don't know whether it's dollars or cedis, which we lost because we incentivize the sector and we are not taxing them, which should change. I mean, those are the conversations we should be having in the aftermath of the respective press conferences. But suddenly we are having a conversation about extortion and
that is key,
what have you.
Because one of the engines of structuring a country or a state is the use of parliament, because that is where we are talking about democracy and the rule of law, and we are talking about no less an institution, parliament. When you check the hierarchy, they come number 3, don't they? And they are very key.
Parliament is number 2.
Number 2, Mom. Good. Thank you for giving me the answer. Number 2. So Nanyan.
It's executive, legislature.
Let them go to judicial. Let them go. So number 2, fine. But my point is very simple. We need to deal with this matter. In finance, in economics, in accounting, there are certain losses that are deliberately made. You can make those losses. You know you're going to make those losses, but then you brave it, you do it just so you are able to hive off a certain worse situation. So, per the arguments that are coming out, let's say, for example, the Bank of Ghana wants to buy some foreign currency. We know that considering the rates, if we should purchase it, we would lose a certain amount.
That's right.
We would go ahead and do it. Now, did you know that when Ghana is printing money or requesting for money to be printed for the country, do you know we lose a lot out of it?
That's right.
You're only getting the paper, but you'd have lost a lot more. So the reason it is incumbent on people never to allow money to be printed, because you pay far more. Coming back to the matter, it is very essential. Like I said last week, Gold Board is one of the key agencies that we need to focus on to ensure that every good thing that has been put in there would materialize for the Ghanaian to benefit. Based on the information that I have available, the numbers from both minority and majority indicates that we are on the right track. But if there are losses, the contention is it was not a loss attributable to Gold Board, but to the Bank of Ghana. The problem Sammy Gyamfi had with this whole issue is that it was being directed at him. And upon listening to other matters on social media, including one that Kevin Taylor put out there, sought to say that Sammy, what's the name? Appiah Markin went for money from Sammy. Sammy turned him down. He went to Bank of Ghana. It was not given to him. Then some third party nominated to give him that money. So he goes, shuts his people down according to what Appiah Markin
those
said.
are the claims.
Those are the claims, exactly. So those are the claims. Mm-hmm. So the reason people are laying credence to the fact that Appiah has been summoned is that when you said you were going to give us the 10 million or bring the 10 million so we all distribute and then keep mute, we didn't get our portion of the 10 million. Is that a matter of concern? For me, no. For me, no. Mine is, if minority is saying that there has been losses and it's been proven to you that the loss is not coming from Gold Board, all these claims and allegations and matters going around points to the fact that, so does it by implication mean that because the businessman gave money in the name of Bank of Ghana, the minority decided not to mention Bank of Ghana in the matter, but rather late at the doorstep?
I don't want us to even
that is what I'm saying. No. It's within the public domain.
Because
it's within the public
business
domain.
Yeah, I mean, not everything in the public domain should be a
You and I know better that I wouldn't come here and flimsily talk about matters like this.
I'm just saying that some of the things. I
am saying
it detracts from what is the main conversation.
I mean, but these are serious allegations.
You understand? Yes.
No, but we can also brush it to the side because there's another subject matter in question. Because now this has been thrust into the spotlight, and it ought to be discussed. There's no two ways about it.
No, I do not disagree about the need for a discussion and all of that, but
in fact,
the
even
suggestion
beyond that discussion, investigations as per what the petition is saying. And to add on to what Patrice says, why should it concern you and I? Because this has to do with Parliament. Yeah. What are the broader implications? I think far too often some of these issues come up and we let it slide. Years ago, we heard about an alleged businessman who had gone into Parliament seeking to bribe members of Parliament. Yeah. Till this day, we haven't got a name. It was former MP for
Asante
Achim North.
Who was the council for?
The name has just slipped
Chairman
my mind.
To me.
Appiah,
yeah. Till this day, he hasn't mentioned who that individual is, and it's been business as usual. And we carry on as a people, and these things pile up, and it becomes, is it political talk? Is it no? At some point, we either have to nip this in the bud,
sharp,
or then just don't mention it.
Thank you.
Because once you bring that in the domain, we as a people, we need to deal with it. We deserve to know.
Appiah Marking is so experienced and so well read, and he's the leader of the minority. Not too long ago, he was leader of majority. What I want you to understand is, if he has read the documents that were given to him, he would have known that the losses were not borne by Gold Board. So the question is that if losses have come and we are mentioning it, why do we target it at the person who says it is not? According to the World Bank IMF report, I am not the one. It is Bank of Ghana. So now, per the background information we are getting, I am saying that presumably, could it be that because I got it to cover this one, I need to mention losses anyway, so let me throw it at your doorstep. So for me, the fact that the petition has been forwarded to Shraj, to Attorney General, to OSP, I think it will lay the matter to rest. If they should call for a probe into it. So there are two legs to it. So there has to be a civil action, that's the defamation, right?
But I believe...
and then there would be a criminal action,
what did,
extortion.
Alexander Fenyomakin said yesterday he was on Joy. He says he's not going... Did he say he'll take legal action or not?
He says... this is a direct quote. I've made certain statements. I'll rely on them without more. Don't rush. In the Bible, Jesus was accused of wild allegations. He kept quiet and watched him. He could have done anything.
Apostle Appiah Marking, good morning.
So is he going the Jesus route, as in he's just going to watch?
I mean, the suggestion is that those comments may have doused the flame as to his initial intention, but he's not suggested he's not going to pick it up.
Okay.
And so, that's where... And for me, here's the point I'm going to make. That the context Helen provides is very important. And not just that context, actually. There is a very interesting history as to MPs receiving alleged bribes. In fact, the AXA deal, which we've been talking about,
right?
There was a claim some $46,000 was made available to members of Parliament. You understand? So I will not sit here and want to brush under the carpet what is a serious matter of concern. The part where I didn't want us to get into, which was why I was attempting to perhaps gag. I cannot gag. I cannot gag Patrice.
No, I know.
Yeah, I was attempted was a certain claim that some 10 million cedis had been paid to somebody. Those ones, from where it is coming from, I don't want us to put a lot of credence on it. I want us to focus on what the germane issues are, that the CEO of Gold Board has pointed an accusing finger at the minority leader and said that he's an extortionist, allegedly. Those are his words. And says, has actually dared him to sue him. And I mean, I'm not one to back that, because if you are claiming somebody is put the evidence out and let's go. The politics where we will do, he's doing it. If you like them, I'll put this in out. That's not what happens.
A story in part is truth apart.
You
we should understand that.
No,
so
I'm just making a
all
point.
Those others, because for me, I am trying to make a collective reasoning out of the situations.
Without that other,
the other, you don't want the other one.
Without the additions as to whether someone made some payments and
like the
someone
allegation that was it a businessman gave Appiah Marking 10 million
without it even coming through.
Yes.
This is a serious enough allegation.
Absolutely, it's a serious matter.
And so that's why I said
it's a serious matter.
For things and for things which you cannot points to. We've all heard the CEO of Gold Board speak to these claims, and so you can lay reference to it. But I want us to switch lanes because we stayed on this subject matter for for quite some.
Okay. Anyways, for me, I still stand by my point.
Oh no.
Let's Gold Board. No.
For the investigations, it has to be.
No. Mine is what I'm saying is outside this. I'm saying, let Gold Board work. Let Ghana win. Some of us don't care whether it is leg A or leg B. So long as it is a goal, that is what I am looking at.
Fair enough.
The Bakre Dam, what some of us like to call Bagre Dam, is expected to be spilled in the coming days. It's been a recurring theme if you've been a journalist for some time. Every year we're having the same story told, person's life affected. Sometimes we ask what can change, what must change. Apparently what should bring about the change has yet to come to life, and so persons will have to get onto higher grounds at about this time of the year again. And we're going to try and connect with a few of our colleagues in relation to that, as to what the situation is and whether the dam has been spilled and what NADMO and the regional northeast region and some other places, what's been happening.
Should it be happening every now and then?
Every year, actually.
So the people who are living along the dam, should we allow them to keep staying there, or we can relocate them? Because when it happens this way, what happens is your taxes and mine would go to support these people.
That's right.
Because NADMO is going to go in there.
No, nobody lives along the dam. They
have farms
along because
that's right.
Yeah,
exactly. So should it be occurring? What is NADMO going to do now?
It's also the person.
It's seasonal.
They don't want to relocate.
It is seasonal, yeah. So if somebody doesn't want to relocate, what do you have to do? Should we keep spending our monies on illegalities? If it's a farm, so it's a risk you are taking. You are taking a risk, exactly. So why should I bear the brunt for the risk that you are voluntarily taking? These are things that I do not understand. So anytime they're going to spill the Wager Dam, they're going to spill the Bagre Dam, hey, all our antennas are so up there. No, I shut my antennas. When I hear they're going to spill the Wager Dam, I keep mute. I don't want to hear anybody say I live at Tetegu. With all due respect to you,
but the Wager Dam and the Bakre Dam, they are completely different, Patrice.
Oh, in what way?
So the individuals farm along where there's a river, it's best to farm along those banks so that you can easily water the crops. And
are we not talking about spillage? Are we not talking about water spillage?
Yeah, so it's not residential.
We are talking about water spillage and people doing an illegal activity.
No, farming along a river bank is not an illegal activity.
So why would NADMO go in there to go and do what?
But they are providing assistance because of person's source of income.
Decided to farm there.
Decided to farm. Is it legitimate for you? Is it a legal thing for you to go and farm there?
So persons who are farming along those areas are being admonished to move to higher grounds and not go to the farms because the place might be inundated by the river overflowing its banks. That's pretty much the story. And so it's not an illegal activity.
So it's normal. If it's normal, why do we discuss it?
It's not an illegal activity.
No, if it's normal, why do we discuss it?
No, because that's excess water that goes waste, destroys food and all of that. We should have been able to trap the water by now so that we can do something else with the excess water that comes.
What can we do about it? So my point is that if year in, year out, we discuss this pillage and farmers have been, they have their produce destroyed. So NADMO is voted 500 million Ghana cedis, 1.5 billion Ghana cedis to support Why do we do that? How much is the produce? And if we are to relocate them, would that $1 million or 1 billion Ghana cedis would it suffice? My point is that there are certain things that I have difficulty in discussing. Because it
something
beats my mind.
That happens every year.
Yes.
There I agree with you.
Yes. And it is spillage. We are talking about spillage. So nobody should cry over spillage. I want to look at Supreme Court clearing the way for legal vacation.
No, we're going to connect with a few of our colleagues.
That is what. And then we have what?
Shortly. So
Ghana is signing a 163 million euro debt restructuring deal with Belgium. These are things that would affect the pockets of those who are listening and watching. So they understand why 163 million debt restructuring is being signed, and then we put to rest this matter. We discussed it here so many times. The legal vacation.
Right.
Supreme Court has put it to rest. So we need to tell the people that those are the dam areas. They know best.
Let me speak to Solomon Kanaluwe, who's my colleague in the Northeast region. Solomon, good morning to you. I trust at all as well.
Yes, I'm doing so well.
Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Provide a bit more for us on the dam spillage. Where are we in terms of it and the activities in relation to the spillage and moving persons to higher ground?
All right, so as it stands now, we do not know exactly when the spill-off will take effect. However, the updates given, every day there is an update. It shows that we are closer to the level, the water level in Bagre Dam, according to their reports. Every day it increases. And so as it stands now, when you come to the Northeast region, the preparation so far, looking at the community members, the farmers, and then the NADMO as well. With the farmers, what they usually do is to harvest their crops before the water arrives. However, this year is not the same as compared to other years, because this year the farmers are not able to harvest anything from the farm as it stands now. It's safe because they have settled far away from the sea, where they know that the water would not get there. So when it comes to the water affecting communities, unless when this year it goes beyond what we've been experiencing every year. Apart from that, where they are settled, can say it's a bit safe. Another challenge is those who live in communities that has no CHIPS compounds or health centers. They rely on other bigger communities for some of these services. When you take Pasinte area side, Yama, and then some other communities surrounding Pasinte, they have no CHIPS compounds or health centers. They rely on Pasinte Polyclinic. And when this happens, most of the roads are not motorable, and so they are unable to cross to other communities to access some services.
Because the river is overflowing its banks, they cannot cross.
They cannot cross. But then the preparations, NADMO, I interacted with them earlier last week and even just yesterday. They have just one flying boat for the region, that is the previous years. But because of some of these challenges, they have now increased the number to 6. So as it stands now, we have 6 of these flying boats for NADMO to be able to reach out to most of the communities, especially when it comes to health. Pregnant women, children, and other vulnerable people cannot go to other communities to access some of these services.
But as it is now, these individuals, particularly those who have farms along the spillways, they've moved to higher grounds. There's a curious question being asked this morning as well as to whether we have persons who live along those areas because outside of the farms, are properties as well in danger of being consumed, if consumed is an appropriate word at this point in time, by the spill waters when it should come through?
Yes, because, when you look at this, the experience, you will notice that it's very dangerous because you see some of the electric posts, it pass through the river to other communities. And so when this happens, it poses a whole lot of dangers to people, especially who try to even cross or enter the river, either to do fishing or maybe when it comes, it does not entirely cover some areas, the crops. So some try to go to access their farms. And in the end, they get trapped. And so, yes, we still have people who live there because there are some that go to other areas that nobody even knows that they are there. And then when you come to the north here, most of the people, they have run house in their farms where they go to stay for some number of weeks, work, and then before going back to their community. Some go there and doesn't even return. And another challenge is that sometimes the water comes even before the third day. And so when, let's say, you go to the farm this morning, and then you cross the river to your farm. Evening time, by the time you come back, the water level increase, so you get trapped. So these are some of the issues. So for that one, yes. And then also community members actually reported that sometimes they do see dead bodies. They don't know where these dead bodies are coming from, but they suspect that maybe it is from other communities or people who traveled and some fishermen, but they actually confirm that they do see dead bodies flowing through this water when it comes.
Right. Solomon, thank you. Let me speak to the regional minister as well, just quickly, because I just see that Bill Eshen has strolled into the studio this morning as well. Will do sports for us in Itad. Ibrahim Tia is the Northeast Regional Minister. Is joining us via the phone lines as well. Honorable, appreciate you for joining us this morning. And so we've been hearing my colleague Solomon Kana Lewis speak to, first off, potential challenges that could rear its head for persons living in the region. On your part, how prepared are you for the spillage when it should come to ensure that lives in particular are safeguarded, and this year we possibly don't come around to hearing news of someone dying as a result of the excess water?
Good morning and thank you to your wide coverage of viewers and listeners. With regards to the spillage of the Bagri Dam, we are more than prepared because we've got enough time to prepare towards the sensitization of our people to move to safer grounds. One, we've gotten the military regiment getting attached to NADMU, and we are working with all our stakeholders who live closer to the White Volta stretch. So we've gotten them sensitized. And let me clarify this. Communities which always live closer to the White Volta are these migrant fishermen. And for them, they even study the patterns of the water levels, and they almost move to higher grounds because their buildings are not complete structures, so they can easily migrate. The second one is, we've been with this spillage several years, and we've experienced the pattern at which it always comes. So all our farmers and the communities along, unless it's exceptional, whereby the water will flow up to a point that certain communities may have to move. And that is always a rare case. But however, we are getting prepared for any eventuality that may come as a result of the spillage. Let me add, there are a number of chips compounds dotted across the zone. Janga, for instance, is another community that is closer to the White Volta, and there's even a polyclinic there. When you come to a place like Wungu, which is closer to Yama, Bulbia, Mishu, there are chips compounds around that belt too. And then when you come to Kasinke, there is another facility, or a health center, which is in Kasinke, which is also just close to the White Volta. So in terms of that, I think accessing health facilities within it will not be a challenge, unless it goes beyond a certain level that we were not imagining. Then, just like Solomon spoke, usually we used to have only one flying boat. This year, as a result of already set agenda, we've added 6 new flying boats to rescue any eventuality that may befall any of the communities. So these are some of the preparedness that we've gotten on the ground. And this morning, you could even see on TV3, you saw how our NADMO team, the military combined with NADMO on the grounds, exploring all the communities and looking at avenues where if there's any situation, we can salvage the situation immediately. These are some of the things that we are looking at. But we pray that, we've gotten more than 2 weeks. They are still looking at the level that the water will get to before they will spill. So we are thinking that maybe this week they may spill it, depending on the water levels at Bagri Dam.
I mean, obviously the preparation appears to have been stepped up, but the question a lot of people continue to ask is, should this be a recurring theme every year, where we're deploying NADMO officials, we're doing this, we're doing that? I mean, there was a planned solution to this. It hasn't quite sufficed just as yet. What alternatives are we looking at so that we are not returning to the same old story, same old courses of action every year when Burkina Faso wants to spill excess water from their dam?
Thank you. You know, it all boils down to finances. One of the mechanisms that we were all looking at as Ghanaians was the Palgo multipurpose dam, which would have also contained the water so that there will not be this excess water flowing away. But here is the case, an amount of money was given, monies were taken, and you get to the project site, nothing is there feasible for anybody to see. So I think as a government, we are discussing to see how we can exploit whichever avenue to get monies so that we can escalate the execution of the Palgo multipurpose dam, which could solve so many problems for the northern sector. That is the only way that we can go around it. But you know, it comes with a huge quantum of resources required for the execution of this all-important multipurpose dam. So we need a stakeholder discussion on it, because I think investigations are already ongoing onto how that money was given and how that money was spent, and nothing outside.
So until all of that is done, we'll have to be coming back to the same old every now and then.
Indeed, for now, there's nothing that we can do. Just we only need to sensitize our people and protect life and property for now, until we get a makeable solution to this all year round problem that has been recurring.
All right then, Honorable, thank you very much for speaking to us this morning.
Thank you.
That's the Northeast Regional Minister as well speaking to us this morning. I'm just going to come back in studio. Quick thoughts. Bill is here already. In this, we like to call him the Dapper Man. Billy Shen.
You know, when you're supporting the attacking champions, you always feel good, yeah? Yeah, we are supporting the attacking, not defending. No, we are not defending. We are attacking.
Really?
Oh yeah. That's what my manager said.
How many goals did you get over the weekend?
Oh, we scored 3.
3? Oh, yeah. Impressive.
Oh,
what's your team?
Oh, Arsenal.
Oh, obviously.
You're an Arsenal fan as well.
Me? No.
Oh, you came back on Friday.
Is there no?
Yes,
is there no for me?
as champions had to, start and set the tone.
Oh.
Well, let's see what this season
there were some
brings.
teams that said it was just Coventry, but they couldn't defeat Tiger Looking Hall on the Saturday.
Well, what's your team?
We're playing today.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm waiting for his team to play. Don't worry.
Okay. And who's Chelsea playing today?
We're going to. We're still in London. We're playing Fulham, so it's.
Oh, okay.
The derby.
Yeah, it's a local derby. It's a local derby.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I don't know why Bill is overly excited.
How did Chelsea finish last season? Number 10.
Number
10.
Oh, 10.
Number 10.
Number 10.
Yeah, so I'm very keen. I'm very keen to see what they can do.
They were 10th
This
last season.
It's all about Crystal Palace. Watch this face.
Hey.
She's a Palace fan.
She's a Palace. Yeah, true.
Who supports Crystal Palace?
I'm even shocked.
I mean,
Helen
who in this world supports Crystal Palace?
I'm even shocked. Only
They
her.
won a trophy last season. Madrid did not.
What trophy?
They won a European trophy last
We
season.
did. In fact,
Actually, they did. Yeah, they did.
Yes.
They did.
They won the Conference League.
The Conference
we
League last
did.
season. Yeah.
And there's a big mirror when you go to a stadium to celebrate it.
Glasgow, eh?
Oh, but it's nice. I mean, when I
stopped supporting
saw the Premier League trophy, Philly, a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
I was just extra motivated.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Bill is reminding us that he's gone to the Emirates to go and see the trophy.
Hey, he has to let us know. But I mean, this year is not Arsenal's season or year.
It just started?
Don't worry.
Helen.
It just started.
Helen, why?
No, I was gunning for them to win the trophy last season. Seriously, because Arteta had toiled.
Yeah, he had toiled.
And Arsenal had. They had done a lot of work.
And they play
Always get
shoving
goalkeepers. They haram the pace squad pass. But I'm telling you,
no,
this
I
season,
didn't even have a problem with defending. It's the dark arts they employed, and then when
it's
it
part
mattered
of football,
most,
is it not?
Yeah.
Those same fouls were being called for them when they had not been called against them all season.
The dark arts are important, isn't it?
Anyways,
because they will shove goalkeepers left, right, and center, and then when their goalkeeper is shoved, suddenly the world wants to.
It depends on how the shoving comes, you know. It depends on how it comes. But for me, I was gunning for them and I was excited they won.
No, I'm not.
So congratulations to us.
But I said it here that you were going to.
As to whether they can defend it or not, that is another matter for discussion.
We are not defending champions. We are attacking champions.
Okay, let's see. It is well.
Yeah.
Belashen will do sports for us, after which we'll return with the big conversations for you here on the 3FM Sunrise.
Is Shen. Now to our first story, Asante Kotoko have wrapped up their 2-week training camp in Accra as they return to Kumasi to complete preparations for the new Ghana Premier League season. The Porcupine Warriors spent 2 weeks in the capital using the period to intensify preparations and play a number of friendly matches. Now Kotoko ended the Accra program with a 1-0 victory over Ampofo, having earlier defeated Heart of Lions by the same scoreline. The team will now return to Kumasi, where they are scheduled to face Heart of Oak in the Democracy Cup on Friday, August 28th at the Babara Sports Stadium. Now moving on, Mediama SC have edged out Samatex in a thrilling penalty shootout to advance in the 2026 Insetri Cup. The two sides played out a 1-0 draw in regulation time at the Century Sports Arena before Mediama held their nerve to secure a dramatic 10-9 victory on penalties. The result will come as a major boost for Mediama as they build towards the new season, with head coach Ibrahim Tanko describing the performance as a spirited one as the champions look to defend their title.
Yeah, sure. I think both teams did very well, but looking at the first half, we should have and score more goals.
You should have.
Yes, we should have scored more goals. But I think, like we said, this is a pre-season. I mean, we have to look at the video and then correct our mistakes. No, of course, and this is our target, and we want to be better than last season. I mean, we want to maintain our league title. So definitely, it's not an easy task, but I think we are capable of doing it.
That was Ibrahim Tanko speaking there. Now to some other stories for Samatex. Despite the painful defeat, head coach Nana Ajimai praised his players for their efforts and acknowledged Mediama's strong performance.
I applaud Mediama for playing the way they played. I enjoyed their mid-block. It was very good. I like the way they block the central area and try to force the opposition wide. Yeah. Whenever they put out that 4-4-2 mid-block, it's very important that you take your time to find spaces either in between the lines or outside. Okay. But they're very, very disciplined. Getting behind their block is very, very difficult to do. But I also applaud my boys for finding ways around them. In the first half, they totally dominated. We went back into the second half, back to the drawing board, and made sure that I brought in other players that could actually break the lines. And in the second half, we saw a good game from the boys. So I think that both teams did really, really well, and I applaud us for giving the fans what they wanted.
That was Nana Jemine there. That will be BNE Gold Stars FC have moved to strengthen the attack ahead of the new Ghana Premier League season with the signing of former Asante Kotoko striker Kwame Opoku. The 27-year-old forward joins the Miners on a one-year deal following the end of his second spell with the Porcupine Warriors. Now, Gold Stars will be hoping Opoku's experience and goal-scoring pedigree can add firepower to their squad as they prepare for another competitive campaign in the Ghanaian top flight. Now let's do some more because Andrea Yu has confirmed that he's not ready to hang up his boots, revealing that he's currently negotiating with 2 or 3 clubs over his next move. The former Black Stars captain made the revelation on the Obi-Wan podcast hosted by former Chelsea midfielder John Obi Mikel in Accra on Sunday as he considers his options after leaving NAC Breda.
Very nice. Really replace. And now I'm actually negotiating with 2-3 clubs. So we'll see what's the best option for me, my family, you know. The kids now are growing, so we need to think about them a lot. From there, we'll make a decision pretty soon.
That was Andrea Yu, former Black Stars captain, speaking there. Now, Ghana midfielder Thomas Partey has expressed his delight after making his Saudi Pro League debut for Al Shabab, coming off the bench in their 1-1 draw with Al Khalij. Now, the 32-year-old who completed his move to the Riyadh-based club just hours earlier entered the match in the 58 minutes and made an immediate impact during his 32-minute cameo.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. I like it. It's my first game here, and I thought we did great. We could have scored. We had a chance to score, but well, it's part of football. We have to just keep working hard and then try to make more points and get 3 points in our next game. Well, I think it's normal. I'll do my best to give everything to this club, and I'm really happy to be here.
That was Thomas Partey speaking there. Still on Ghanaian players making their mark overseas. Caleb Yuinchi has taken another significant step in his young career, making his official Premier League debut for Coventry City against defending champions Arsenal. The Black Stars midfielder featured for more than an hour before making way in the latter stages as Coventry suffered defeat in the opening game of that campaign. And back in Bechem, where Yuinchi's football journey began, P Sports joined his family members and townsfolk to watch the historic moments unfold. Now here are their reactions to Caleb Yuinchi's debut.
Maniachi, Ukrainian enemy. If we say Caleb returning back to Premier League. Now Denmark League no. Now yenya akonya share games ni bi. Intimate say over Premier League ni bi. Manage say ni Premier League no over there. Benya akonya share ni games weekends bia. If the Premier League ni no one share. Intimate anje pass me say over enti. And I'm about time to come in the first game to Baby Shibi. I'm a name of Sotmokui.
Here, Niki Pibre, Niki Planama, maybe boy. It's a baby of one banner. The Niki Hopa, Sama Chrono, I didn't watch it. She a bump pie dinner chipa, and the BBA because come, my Kiana chipa.
Nichipa, we grab a new minute, one town back. On a pump, and you may have a babu video in Yami. And then my mother said, "I'm first match. From some of you, I feel about new team war England. Then and you say, and ever offer send. And you know me not man table back.
Empire Bonus, Namiba Mana, na Prebia Manaquen. Also, Premiership, quite different from other leagues. Also, Premiership play speed. Nobody was a players baby Bakra. Omuntimi empeke oni timo e good but Premiership no or bread. The who say the first appearance no. So far yeah.
Oh Emma wa say crew like between the preparation and also in the crew like ready. Now you team prayer young player about national team and the name for academy. Now go be England EPA. Now, if you can get championship, no, but like on the top teams in the game.
Now, still on the Premier League, Manchester United suffered a disappointing defeat to newcomers Hull City, with their coach Michael Carrick admitting his side's performance was below par. However, Carrick remains confident there's plenty of time for his team to turn things around.
We came here to win, like we do any game, so to not take anything away is it's hugely disappointing. Yeah, it's not more than that, it's not less than that, it's a one game that we're disappointed we haven't won, so you've got to soak it up and come back stronger. No, but that doesn't mean you're passive just because you get beat. It's just, the result's the result. So we accept it. We got beat, we're hurt, and it's not a nice feeling at all. It doesn't mean it's going to change our direction of how we're going as a team or as a football club.
That was Michael Carrick speaking, but there was joy on the other side of Manchester as Enzo Maresca marked his return to the Premier League with a dramatic comeback victory. Manchester City came from behind to beat Bournemouth, with the Italian manager insisting his side deserved the win. Maresca is also optimistic about City's prospects, especially as he continues to welcome back key members of the squad.
I think it's a game that we deserve to win. It's a game that probably you don't need to wait the last 5 minutes to win the game. It's a game that you deserve to win early for the amount of chances we had. Before they score, we had 3-4 clear chances. We miss. This is football. When you miss and they score, become more complicated. Second half, they didn't. Probably they had the first shot on goal minutes 80. So I think we deserve to win the game. I think the reaction from the players was very good. Unfortunately, we have still 4 or 5 players that for them it's pre-season. Erling, pre-season. Elliot, pre-season. Margay, pre-season. Nico Rally, pre-season. They arrived 10 days ago.
That was Enzo Maresca speaking there. So Liverpool needed a stoppage time penalty to rescue a point against Newcastle. Despite the late drama, Andoni Raiola believes the final result was a fair reflection of the game.
It's not the result you wanted before the game, but obviously scoring in the last minute, it gives you a better taste probably. I don't think we deserve to lose the game today, and I value the effort from the players. They never gave up, and at the end it arrived and we could recover at least 1 point.
That was Andoni Raiola speaking. Now, meanwhile, former Liverpool forward Daniel Sturridge believes the Reds have enough quality to compete with the best teams in the Premier League this season.
I take my eyes back to when Jurgen Klopp came in, right? We had Brendan Rodgers, who we challenged for the title. The season after, we weren't too good. The season after that was when he left. When Jurgen came in, I think he was afforded a good 2-3 years, but it was progress in terms of getting into cup finals and things like that. I think if Andoni can show, okay, you know what, we're making progress from last season, 25 points off the top, you finished 5th in the Premier League. That's not Liverpool Football Club, is it? That's not what we're used to seeing. But can you now show us, okay, with a long cup campaign,
That was Daniel Sturridge speaking. And match day 1 of the new Premier League season concludes at Craven Cottage, where Fulham hosts Chelsea. Now, new Chelsea boss Xabi Alonso will take charge of his first Premier League game in a challenging fixture, but former Blues midfielder John Obi Mikel believes the Spaniard has what it takes to restore Chelsea to its glory days.
Obviously, the likes of Michael Essien played here together with me in Chelsea. We won a lot of trophies together. The DNA of Chelsea is to win titles, not to finish 10th in the league table. And we don't want to see Arsenal keep winning titles. We want to get back to winning titles because that's who we are. But I'm excited this season. Xabi Alonso is a great manager. We've signed some new players. And I think we'll be better. We'll be better this season. I choose qualifying for the Champions League. I think for me that's a step forward. If we can qualify for the Champions League this season, next season, then we can compete in terms of going on to win the title. But I'm very excited with this season. Hopefully, Xabi Alonso is the guy to bring us back to glory days.
That was John Obi Mikel speaking there, bringing an end to sports here on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. My name is Bill Ishen. We'll see you same time tomorrow with more updates from the world of sports. Until then, have a great morning.
Morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
How are we doing?
Very well. And thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming this morning. It's the start of a brand new weekend already. We have so many issues.
Definitely. And in my region, we are bracing for the spillage of the Bagri Dam from Burkina Faso, which normally affects low-lying communities along the White Volta stretch. And the Upper East Regional Minister and my very own of East Regional Minister, Ibrahim Tia, alongside NADMO and other stakeholders, have been engaging settlers along that stretch to support them move to higher ground so that when the dam is finally spilled, it doesn't cost life and property as mostly happens. So this is our concern as it stands now, because ultimately human lives matter.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Now, is there ever going to be a time where we're not having stakeholder engagement, asking settlers to move, to higher ground? Because year in, year out, we know that the spillage will, occur. But we still have those who choose to do their farming along the line of fire, as it were, the line of water, should I say?
Yes. I think natural disasters are a predicament for all people globally. And in the West, despite the warnings of potential fire in some areas in US, France, and what have you, people just find it difficult to leave their natural home to a new place. And so what can be done by and large has to do with that constant sensitization and also to put in place the right protective measures. But in our situation, I think if people are assured of better homes away from where they end their living, because they live and they farm there, and these are places that have been inhabited by their ancestors for a long time. And,
even before any kind of spillage was, first conceptualized.
Yes. So I think ultimately climate change and adverse weather conditions have had a toll on our vegetation and then the land. And people just have to brace themselves. So by and large, it should be progressive to educate people to get to understand that moving is the solution to this whole
Helen, I want to ask, how long would it take us to be educating these people? I don't want to take it against the people. I want to take it against the authorities. Because you have to indicate that it is costing NADMO, it is costing Ghanaians, and even it is the risk of the NADMO personnel on the day of the spillage.
So costing human life
exactly.
as well.
So why do we have to take the risk? Are we not pampering the settlers too much? Are we not pampering them?
This is not about pampering. You see, let's come to terms with reality. For example, you live in a particular area. That's where you farm. All your acquaintances live there. And basically, it's like that is where your livelihood comes from.
Great.
And then, for example, for some people who are more traditional, they even have family gods that have been handed down. This might look on a lighter note.
So shrines and all that.
Yes, but it means a lot to some people. And you don't just move or abandon your heritage. Look, let me tell you, even today, people live in the Amazon forest. No electricity, nothing. They have never had any touch with the outside world.
Absolutely.
And then they take just 2 or 3 of them and they take them to modern Western culture and even inside South America, Brazil, and integrate them, bring them back. And when they come back, they see the change, the potential change in the common good of the people. But the people will not accept it simply because there is a certain form
attachment.
Of
you can say attachment
to that environment that they.
But if it is costing the states.
But let me come to this. As a nation, I think that it's not just enough to have a conversation on that matter. It's not just enough. But people need concrete assurances in that to come to the realization that when they move, starting over and rebuilding their lives, though they have a part to play, but they will get the needed support.
Can we tell the number of people who live there? Do we know the number of people who live in that community?
Well, population-wise, I may not be able to tell you, but those places are actually sparsely populated. And being sparsely populated means that it is not out of reach for government or state institutions to intervene to ensure that...
So as people in position of authority within the community, have you been able to write a paper to say that if we were to move them from point A to point B, it's going to take us, we need 1 million Ghana cedis. We'll build 20 houses and create jobs for 1,000 people, 500 people. Can't we just do that and then save everybody from all these troubles that happen every year?
Yeah, that can be done. And I think it should be done gradually with time. For example, you find people in the Volta region who live along major...
the seashore?
Yeah, the seashore. Yeah. And it's actually surprising and worrying. But what we need to consider is that the people did not just happen to be there. There were certain circumstances under which they settled. And in time past, like I said, climate change did not have a toll on us as it happens today.
But the point is that...
And these people are fisher folks who earn their living from there. And to just move is very, very difficult. Even in Accra here, I think along the beach, is it...
Jamestown area, but
That's places, the sea is constantly moving.
But it is our fault.
Yes. No, the sea is constantly moving.
But it is our fault.
But people are not ready to move.
They have to be ready.
And that's in part, they have to be ready. What will let
So the
them
point
be
is
ready?
that I remember under Jerry Rawlings, and then I think sometime under Nanado, early days of Nanado. What happened to the sea defense that Jerry Rawlings did? It prevented a lot of water crossing over from the sea to the shore. So if we know that we are living by the shore, and that is where our livelihood is always fed, why can't we just have sea defense throughout the entire stretch? We need to clamor for that so that the sea would never be able to climb over.
Yeah, that's true.
We only need sea defense, that's all.
That's true, but you and I will also agree that funding challenges for such projects...
There can't be...
No, I'm coming.
Yes.
Let me come.
Okay.
Funding challenges for such projects as third world nations, and Ghana is no exception.
So we've got a lot of items on the agenda that our pockets simply cannot cater for.
Yes. And I think that in all seriousness, where the laws truly work, and when I say the law, I mean the law. Look, people can be evacuated irrespective of the costs politically and socially and what have you. Because if we all agree that no, they are sitting in harm's way, they are in danger. They are endangered from year to year. And it's not like there's potential danger. Actually, when there's flooding, it affects lives and property.
That's right.
You see, there was a time, I think that was 3 years ago, after the dam was built, the Bagri Dam, they had to look for 7 men who were carried away.
Goodness.
In the water, something like that. If my memory serves me right. 7 men. These are men with wives and children. Now the question is, why were they carried away in the water? His maize farm is there. And then he knows that if he's unable to harvest enough maize for that particular season, and the water destroys the farm, that means he, wife, and relatives will all be in hunger for the rest of the year. And these are some of the issues we need to talk about, because if you are moving from there, you are not moving with your land. So what sometimes the people do along the White Volta is that they do early farming. Early farming, so they harvest their maize ahead of time, beans ahead of time, and sometimes vegetables like tomatoes and what have you, all of that ahead of time. But if it comes to a time where people still have crops there, it's very difficult to leave your investment and then move to higher ground.
Because by weighing up the pros and cons, you might say, well, throughout the year, it's stable. But for this one time in the year where there's a spillage, so yes, they will rather take that risk of that one occurrence in the year to be able to stay and farm and make some money for the family.
Yes, yes. And even
brooding over the fact that they are incapacitated.
No. Let's not look at it from that viewpoint. Let us look at it from the... You see, for people like myself and you living in Accra, our concern may be, how do I buy a new car? How do I go out on a weekend to relax? We are talking about leisure. But in this case, we are talking about survival. Where people... My brother, when there is hunger, a bowl of maize, if you give a bowl of maize to somebody, it is worth more than a gold bar.
Okay.
And a bowl of maize is like an olunga. So this tells us that in some way, somehow, it comes to them as though it's a matter of life and death for them to get their produce ashore so that they can survive.
How did we get here? That is the question. Well, there's some news that President Mahama has assured residents of Puvema in the Anglo district and other coastal communities that the long-awaited $150 million World Bank-funded West Africa Coastal Areas project will commence soon. So this was way back somewhere in April 30. So it's 150 million for that stretch. 150 million, how much is 150 million?
This is dollars.
US dollars.
It's a lot.
How much is 150 million US dollars for a country like Ghana? We have gold, we have bauxite, we have manganese, we have lithium, we have aluminum, we have all these things. So 150 million US dollars is nothing to save an entire community. Me, I don't know my village. I'm from Kaji. Swallowed up by the sea.
Gone?
Gone. So you get it? How would we allow it? Because forecasts will tell us that the tidal waves are coming this way. So the coastal area is going to be eating off or eating away by so and so centimeters. Why can't we plan towards these things? Anyways, we'll discuss it year in, year out. I mean, this is the last time I'm discussing any matter on the Bagri spillage.
No, it should not be the last time.
No, because
as long as it keeps recurring.
It shouldn't.
No, I'm coming.
Who's the minister in charge?
As long as it keeps recurring.
Who's the minister in charge?
I'm coming.
Who's the MCE there?
As long as it keeps recurring, we should be talking about
relocating the people.
Solutions.
Yes.
Concrete solutions that are not abstract.
Yeah.
And as I talk to you right now, it's not as though people are asleep about the matter. The regional ministers, the DCs, the assembly members, chiefs, opinion leaders, all stakeholders. Like I mentioned to you, the Northeast regional minister, Honorable Ibrahim Tia, he's on it. And as I talk to you, tomorrow in the afternoon, he will be there.
In fact, we had the opportunity to speak with Honorable Tia this morning, giving us some context.
But you see, what is the solution?
The is the regional minister.
What is the solution? For me, what is the solution? We are in 2026. The Bagri Dam started the spillage 12 BC. So if 2026, we still don't have the solution to relocate the people and settle them well, because they are fisher folk. What do they need?
We'll talk about that when the time comes, but I want us now to segue into another conversation, another big one for the morning, and we've laid the premise for you. I want us to take a listen to these two key voices in this current conversation. The first voice you'll hear is that of Gold Board CEO Sami Gyamfi addressing this issue of alleged extortion, as he puts it. After which we'll listen to the voice of Minority Leader in Parliament, Osahin Pamina Alexander Afenyomakin. When we come back, we'll put all these matters in context. Why should it concern you this morning? We'll tell you exactly why. Take a listen.
This word now. And why have you not heard Afenyo say anything about that? Or challenge me? Or threaten to sue? So the MPP people talking, there are things you don't know. I will not just, I'm a consummate Democrat. I eat and drink debates. I'm not worried.
Call the minority leader an extortionist.
I'm not worried if you criticize him to... Yes. And that is why he cannot comment on that or even challenge me. He cannot. Because he knows that what I said is true. So there are many things that you may not have the benefit of. But let me talk about my good brother.
Fioma King is a self-made man.
No problem.
He's got the chain of businesses.
Maybe tell him that.
Why does he need to come and extort money from Gold Board?
Tell him that you want to be his lawyer so that he sues Sammy Gyamfi to substantiate that claim. Tell him. Or tell him that you give him an interview here and Sammy Gyamfi will come and that you should dare Sammy Gyamfi. That is not an insult. I'm speaking about what has happened, and you know.
We're going to court on the other issue. Regarding,
I have made certain.
I've seen your statement.
I'm saying I've made certain statements. I would rely on them without more. Don't rush. You see, in the Bible, Jesus was accused, wild allegations. He kept quiet and watched them. He could have done anything, but you see, when you are dealing with situations, the people of Ghana expect a certain level of maturity from me. The people of Ghana see that this is an accomplished businessman. He's been in the space for some time. He's leading a group. The tradition of the party MPP that I lead expects a certain level of conduct. So if I would be carried away with emotions, I will fail. It's not an emotional game. It's not a game that somebody attacks you, you should also react. No, you won't get it. There's always a bait in politics. But
you see this as a bait?
I'm saying that there is always a bait.
No, I'm asking you specific questions.
I'm saying that there's always a bait in politics. And don't underestimate. Opponents also have a strategy. I was a majority leader. I know how government operates. I know how government can divert attention. So I've been there. Because the government must hold itself together. So it can be throw this in. Today, social media, let's divert attention, let's stain the man. But look, Carlos.
Is that what is happening?
Carlos, in opposition, like I said, was Ampofo not in court? Was it not worse than my situation? You get what I mean? So, as for this game, I want to assure the party that the mandate they gave me, God willing, that mandate will be discharged. We would work hard. The people of Ghana expect us to do nothing less. They expect us as minority to be forthright, to work hard, to hold the feet of government to the fire. We will do that. All other things that will come, we'll deal with it. So don't worry. Tomorrow we are resuming. We pray that the motion will be admitted. We argue, set up the ad hoc committee so that within the period of break, at least there will be hearing.
Okay.
So that by October, before we read the 2027 budget is read, I hope by that time the report will be ready. And once it is ready, the good people of Ghana would see. But I pray for a live broadcast of the hearing. Okay? And I also pray that there will be no U-turn.
The Gold Board hearing?
Yes, the Gold Board hearing. Yeah, you want a headline? Yes, you want a headline.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, the Gold Board hearing. We can safely say that. We expect that once the motion is carried, there will be a full public hearing of these Gold Board losses.
Diversionary tactics or a legitimate claim? Let's get on to Zoom right about now and speak with Solomon Owusu. He's the Director of Communications for the United Party, and he's one of the petitioners in this particular instance. And let's get some more clarity on this petition. Solomon, hello, good morning.
Good morning, Helen, and good morning to your in-studio panelists.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, we've laid the foundation and we've sought to get a summary of your petition, but I'll start with the most basic question. What exactly prompted you to file this petition now? What did you hear or see that made you conclude that this had crossed the line from political rhetoric to something requiring a criminal investigation?
Well, when I heard a response from Afenyo, that was what became the red line for myself and my brother Appiah, because we thought that Sammy Gyamfi had raised a very serious allegation that demanded equally serious response. The least Afenyo could do was to head to the court immediately. But his response did not give us any indication. So we were afraid that this matter will be left at the levels of radio and TV discussions and nothing will be done about it. That is why we said we needed to let people be busy in the system. Yeah.
To let people be busy in the system. Now, you've heard from Honorable Minority Leader. He says that this is a diversionary tactic and that this is something that governments will typically do to sort of water down important issues. He himself and his side in Parliament had addressed the good people of Ghana to make claims about certain losses made by the Gold Board. We've had extensive discussions about that, and I think we've got some more clarity on that. But what do you say to that rebuttal from him that this is just diversionary tactics, that this has no legs, and much like Jesus, he will be keeping silent?
The man wasn't silent. First of all, who brought this whole issue of Gold Board into the public discourse? It was Afenyo himself that conducted a press conference that leveled series of allegations against Gold Board. Now, the Gold Board CEO takes his stand and also counter-lay allegations or claims against the rare person that led the press conference. And this time around, it borders on criminality. Extortion is a crime under our laws. And if you read our Constitution, Article 1, it talks about the sovereignty of this country. The sovereignty of Ghana resides in the people on whose behalf all powers of the state will be exercised for. So when Sammy Gyamfi leveled an extortion allegation against Afenyo, we saw it as a very grievous crime, because then it means Afenyo, if it's proven to be true, has not been using the power that is supposed to be used to benefit all of us in our interest, but rather using the very power that has been entrusted to him by us to rather enrich himself. And that is how we view it.
Now, your petition repeatedly refers to an alleged demand for some $1 million. What is your understanding of the source of that specific figure? And are you satisfied that Gold Board CEO Sammy Gyamfi has actually made an allegation in those precise terms?
You see, let me put it. We sit on a lot of information, and in the coming days, we will be exposing a lot of politicians in the country who are putting our brothers and sisters in public office under serious and strenuous pressure. They frame stories, go at them, and then when those that have fainted hearts go and sit them behind the scenes and pay them, though they have not done anything wrong. And that is what this whole banter between Sammy Gyamfi and Afenyo is beginning to expose. And like I said, we'll be doing an expose on such issues. The country called Ghana is suffering from some of these things, and is the reason why corruption is so rife. If you have public officials who go to their colleague public officials and threaten them with exposing them on matters that borders on criminality, failure not to pay will put them in the bad light, then where are we heading to? If you are Afenyo, the claim by Sammy Gyamfi is that Afenyo markets threatened that if he does not pay, he would expose the Gold Board. So, granted what Sammy Gyamfi is saying is true, does it mean that Sammy Gyamfi can do or commit a crime, and once he goes to pay, public officials that are supposed to serve our interests will just sit aloof, they will sit quiet, go mute, and not expose such rots in the system? That is how we see it. And for us, it is not something that we must be toiling with.
And of course, these are very serious allegations, and this is something that we touched on this morning, is that the wider implications could be dire, such that if all it takes is $1 million for certain rods to be covered up, that's definitely not going to bode well for this country called Ghana. Now, Solomon, you mentioned some exposés that we should be looking forward to. How soon should we be looking forward to these?
At the moment, I'm out of the jurisdiction together with my brother Andrew. When we come back, we will be exposing all, because you see, it's becoming one too many.
When are you back?
And God willing, by the 5th of September, I should be in the jurisdiction, and then we will be in the process of exposing all. And unfortunately for these people, Helen, can you imagine? They do things with impunity as though there's no tomorrow. They leave traces. They send text messages. They do audio calls and so on and so forth. They write emails. So people have actually gathered all this information, and then once we petition, since yesterday till this morning, they have been sending us a lot of information, and it is mind-blowing. And I can't believe it. Now, why must we do this to ourselves? Public officials are supposed to serve to the best interest of the country. If you are pushing them to be doing things outside their remit, what you are telling them is that, yes, go and steal to come and satisfy our private pockets. And that is why we must take the issue of Afenyo very serious. Remember, Afenyo was once your majority leader.
Indeed.
He was once your board chair of Ghana Water Company. He was once your board chair of the company of Ghana. Happened, any investigation conclude that indeed Afenyo engaged in extortion, can we quantify the level of extortion that he engaged in whilst he was the majority leader, he was the board chair of Ghana Water Company, he was ECG board chair. And that is how we see it. And this is not to say that he has, as a matter of fact, engaged in any extortion, but should the investigation conclude, Helen, then where would our democracy be heading to? And that is why every Ghanaian must join us in nibbling this in the bud.
Is there a potential then that, you know, it wasn't Afenyo Marking himself making such demands, allegedly, and that perhaps a third party acting on his behalf? Because these are two very different allegations then.
So if you read our petition carefully, we anticipate it could be agents that are representing allegations. Why you say either third parties and so on and so forth, so that we bring all these Goro boys in the system and deal with them once and for all.
Now, Solomon, I know you have to leave us very shortly, but a few more questions, and then we'll bid you farewell and come back in studio. Now, your petition is asking investigators to secure phone records. You're asking for WhatsApp messages, emails, recordings, payment instructions, and device data. What evidence do you currently believe exists, and whose devices or records should investigators be looking at? Whose WhatsApp messages should we be looking at?
So Sammy Jemfi was the one that made the allegations. I mean, the voice that you played, he was very emphatic that he was daring Afenyo to sue him, or he was daring Afenyo to appear on the show with him, and he would prove to him that he's an extortionist. So we believe that some of these discussions might have taken place either via phone calls, WhatsApp messages, audio recordings here and there. So he will be the prime suspect in this. Again, we also had Mr. Eric J. also collaborate the position of Sammy Jemfi. So we believe that he must be having information very vital to any investigations that will be happening. Helen, let me say that our disappointment has to do with the fact that state institutions did not need us to even petition before they kickstart any investigations. I mean, why must OSP sit down when allegations of extortion is being leveled against a public official? Why must Parliament not issue a statement on it? What about charge, abuse of power or abuse of office? We believe that state institutions must begin to act without even petitions. But like I said, we are building a democracy, so we are all of them in this regard. But going forward, we expect them to be acting on their own.
What do you say to critics who suggest that your petition is simply weaponizing an allegation made by Sammy Jemfi against Afenyo Marking for political purposes?
The allegation borders on criminality under our laws. It borders on abuse of office under our laws. It brings the integrity of Parliament into disrepute, the institution called Parliament. And so, contrary to the view that we are only giving currency to an allegation, those that are making such allegations must rather be thanking us for bringing life to this issue and wanting to deal with a matter that has pervaded or existed in our system for far too long. And in so doing, bringing the perpetrator of such crimes into book.
Now, if Sammy Gyamfi cannot substantiate the allegation, your petition says the conclusion should be communicated clearly to protect Afenyo Markin's reputation. Do you think, however, some damage might already be done with this back and forth we're already seeing in the media?
You see, so the petition is in two parts. Like Riley said, we are not concluding that Afenyo has actually engaged in an extortion behavior. It is also bringing the credibility of Sammy Gyamfi into the limelight, that he was bold and vociferous on TV and clear in his mind that Afenyo Markin had engaged in extortion behavior. And so it is also a burden of after under our laws, it is who he alleges that must prove. So we are shifting the burden to Sammy Gyamfi to substantiate the very allegation he made against Afenyo Markin, so that it has the potential of also clearing the name, the reputation, the integrity of Afenyo Markin, and by extension, restoring the integrity and reputation of the Parliament of Ghana. Remember, the Parliament of Ghana in this moment does not have the credibility that it deserves. As we speak, there is a member of Parliament who is languishing in jail. I hope you know that. And so, if you have a member of Parliament who is now in jail in somewhere, Amsterdam, and you have another member of Parliament, a leader of Parliament being accused of engaging in extortion behavior, then how honorable is the House? Remember, we call them honorable.
Indeed.
Which honorable takes extorts? So it is for Parliament to be interested in this matter, to purge itself of that reputational damage.
Certainly. Solomon, thank you for your time this morning and for further clarifying the petition and also your position on the petition. We look forward to your return into this jurisdiction because you've got a lot more in store for us, an expose, you say. And this is something that we believe all of us should be deeply interested in, as you've concluded for us. Honorable members of Parliament should be seen doing only honorable things. And so we're grateful for your time this morning. Enjoy the rest of your trip and see you shortly.
Thank you very much, Helen, and greetings to your entire crew.
Thank you so much. Again, Solomon Owusu is the Director of Communications for the United Party. He's one of the petitioners into this matter, this ping-pong we're seeing currently unfold. The gold board controversy widens. But what do you make of all of this? Do be sure to engage with us on our socials. Also send us a message on WhatsApp and let's read out your thoughts as well. Back in studio, Patrice, Mawuena, and Godfred still here with us. Godfred Maim of the NDC. I should also mention that we had billed to have Kamal Dean Abdullahi, Deputy National Comms Director of the NPP, on the show this morning, but due to an emergency, he's unable to join us. But we will be seeking to have another rep of the New Patriotic Party join us very, very shortly to also have his bite on this. I want to come to Godfred ultimately, but I'll ask my colleagues in the studio if they have any quick thoughts on what we've listened to so far. Sammy Gyamfi, Afenyo Markin, and ultimately Solomon Owusu. Patrice.
Well, for Solomon Owusu and the petition that they put across, well, it seems like it's been well put out there. My question I'm asking is that, is it a serious thing that they mean? When I say a serious thing that they mean, like the way it's been put out, it's been written out, it is fine and all that. But you know, sometimes these things, they just come just to create a sort of whitewashing for us. Hey, there's a euphoria about Sammy Gyamfi, and we're going to court. They should petition, charge them, do this. Some people just do it for political coloration. I hope that all what he is saying, that when they come, lots of people are going to be in hot waters, that people are going to be in trouble, they have more information and all that, shouldn't just be something hogwash. They should come and prove to us, because what Solomon said has been recorded, that when they come, they have a lot more information on this matter. So whatever information that he has, that we do not have, he should come and prove to us. Otherwise, it becomes a political ding-dong. It is coming from this angle, that angle, this person stretching this by, then the petition will fall flat, then nothing would happen. I am pretty sure that by the time it gets there, the two of them would have amicably settled it. If the Attorney General takes hold of this matter, it will be settled. The only person who may be able to hold it and give it some life would be the OSP. So that is my take on it. Well, it is somebody's intention, petition, to get this matter resolved one way or the other, but I do not trust it fully.
Mawuena, where are your trust levels at?
I think it's a step in the right direction in terms of what it is that we're seeing play out. I mean, I started off by saying that I initially didn't want to give a lot of credence to this, but
So to clarify that for me, Mawuena, because that also, piqued my interest. What are you not seeking to give credence to? Is it the allegation or the petition?
This was no. I mean, the entire conversation to have started off. I believe it was just politics. I mean, we from the conversation which started to the reaction, I felt it was politics. Both political parties, particularly the minority, because they kick-started the angling of the conversation, right? Deciding to go on a tangent, like the minority leader, deciding to go on a tangent which completely was not beneficial to anybody, because there were legitimate questions that ought to have been asked instead of suggesting Gold Board had made a loss, which was not accurate, right? And so that's how I treated it for a great deal of time. But on the back of the allegations and the doubling down on same, it suggests this should not be let lying loose. But we can walk and still chew gum. So whilst we're asking investigative agencies to look into this, the questions which ought to be answered in relation to that 22 billion, that 21.89 billion CD loss, which we round up to 22 billion, must still be asked. And we must still seek to find out if indeed the change in approach by the Gold Board is actually what is, such that we don't return to 22 billion CDs. Because as we've spoken, and a lot of the time for us media persons, when we fact check the claim, the suggestion is, on the side of the current administration. Or no, nobody is interested, or nobody wants to make an excuse as to 22 billion CDs in terms of losses.
I think that's very legitimate, Mawuena, that actually now I understand your perspective. In as much as this new issue has been thrust before us, we still must keep that other conversation alive. We've established, as per all the fact-checking and conversations we've had last week, that this is not a Gold Board loss. However, this model that the NDC is continuing on, are there ways that we can improve upon it to ensure that the losses are minimized? We shouldn't let that conversation slip by whilst we interrogate these new issues, and we look forward to an expose come September 5th when Solomon Owusu and co touch down live in the jurisdiction. But Godfred Maimo of the NDC is still here with us, and we heard from Afenyo Marking. He says he's been in government before. These are some of the tactics that are employed, diversionary ones, if you will, so that we don't ask for our money. We don't come in and ask you to account for this 22 billion Ghana cedi loss. Is that what we're seeing unfold, or does this alleged claim have legs?
Yes, I think I'm also highly expectant of Solomon to come and give us that expose, because everyone is sitting on tenterhooks and ready to know what he has. But I want us to go back to where this whole issue of Gold Board making losses commenced. You see, we saw Codjoe upon Nkrumah in the picture at the beginning of it, who has just fizzled out. And then Afenyo Marking came and was saying a whole lot of things in Parliament, organizing press conferences. We know what is happening in Gold Board. We know what is happening in Gold Board. The question is, what do you know? The point is that what Afenyo Marking alleges to know is non-existent, because his claim is that Gold Board has made losses.
In fact, he made some claims about certain procurement irregularities at Gold Board and so on and so forth.
They all remain claims. But going forward, he added that Gold Board has made losses. So if you have made losses, on what basis do you insinuate that Gold Board actually made losses? And then you come to tell Ghanaians that the loss amounts to 22 billion Ghana cedis. Let us assume that is true. Adduce reasonable and concrete evidence before us as Ghanaians to come to terms with the reality you want us to believe. But to be insinuating and creating that impression that there are losses, and yet you cannot point to something concrete, is very unfortunate. And you see, looking at his stature in our politics in this country, as a minority leader, he is someone who automatically earns some level of respect, both from the NDC and even cherished by his own MPP. But it appears as though Afenyomarkin has put himself in a situation where his own party is unable to defend him. So you come out and you make a lot of spurious claims and allegations, and there's no substance to them. So you even find out that a lot of people who want to speak to his defense, when they are asked to tell them whether this is a true gold board loss, are unable to substantiate that claim. But let us look at Gold Board's own account. What do they say? Gold Board, through Sami Gyamfi, as the CEO, has told us that they have increased our reserves from 8.9 million Ghana cedis to, I think, a billion Ghana cedis to 13 billion Ghana cedis. The question we are putting before Afenyomarkin is this true or false? And is it to the benefit of this country or not? And also in the Auditor General's report, Sami Gyamfi has pointed out clearly that Gold Board has made 5.4 billion Ghana cedis surplus. Is this also true? Why is Afenyomarkin not speaking to this? Why is nobody in the minority or MPP speaking to these positive indicators? So, in my opinion, I sense some kind of mischief. And the mischief MPP is trying to do is that they want to tarnish the image of Sami Gyamfi.
To what end?
To the end that they see Gold Board as a highly successful state entity. And it cannot go without criticism. That I agree. But if you are coming up with allegations, those allegations must be grounded on truth. They must be grounded on issues that you can put in the public domain for people to see that, yes, these are the realities. But we now come to a situation where Honorable Afenyomarkin grants interviews and he says, he is a minority leader, and when people hear him, they must hear substance from him.
Indeed.
Yes, he has said that on other platforms. When people listen to him, they must deduce that he is making a lot of sense and that there's substance in a lot of things that he's saying. But all his allegations have no substance. Not at all. Not at all. And he even goes further to say that when Jesus was accused, he kept quiet. It's not in all instances that Jesus was accused and Jesus kept quiet. You see? And in this case, we are talking about issues of law, public concern, governance, accountability, probity and accountability.
So in this particular instance, he shouldn't take the Jesus route. He should speak up.
No, he should speak up. Because we're in Ghana, you have been entrusted with a responsibility. And rightly so, as a minority leader, you are keeping this government in check, which we agree with. We like it because this government is doing so well. And sometimes if you are doing well, if you are an A student or if you are in primary school and you are scoring 100%, and you slip to even 90%, you are still within the A range. But if you don't get someone to push you, you will not maintain that consistency of good performance, you keep sliding down. And we in the NDC are not afraid to be criticized. No, we are not afraid to be called out. Not at all. As a matter of fact, what we want is constructive criticism. Because in the end, Ghana must move forward. We must not come to a situation where we say, oh, President Mahama is doing well, NDC has majority in parliament. I like the fact that the minority in parliament call themselves mighty minority.
You say you like it?
No, I like the fact that the minority call themselves mighty minority.
What do you like about that?
I like it because it now puts a task on them to truly demonstrate to us that they are a minority of substance. In terms of their criticism, in terms of the ideas they bring on board for us to build this country. But on the contrary, I don't like to say this. On the contrary, the minority is proven to be very, very, very irresponsible through their own leadership. They are proven to be very, very irresponsible through their own leadership.
How is that irresponsibility manifesting?
It's irresponsible when you make claims and you cannot substantiate same. It becomes irresponsible where we should be engaging on key dialogues nationally to help us build, stabilize, and then move this country forward. And yet you bring nothing to the table. So it is in the interest of the MPP, as a political party that has paid its dues to the democracy of this country, to go into a deeper reflection. And when they go into that deeper reflection, it must be on the basis of how to recalibrate their steps, how to put this government in check, to ensure that we do better, to ensure that there is no comfort zone for this John Dramani Mahama government.
You say you welcome that critique?
Oh, yes.
You want to be kept on your toes?
Yes, we want to be kept on our toes.
And you're ready to work with the mighty minority as development partners?
Definitely. But the unfortunate thing they are doing right now is that they are not getting things right. And championing that situation of not getting things right is the minority leader, Afenyo Markin.
Godfrey, thank you for these preliminary thoughts. Let me also welcome into the studio and into the discussion this morning Jamal Uddin Abdullah. He's an NPP National Communications Team member. Jamal, good to see you this morning. Hope you're well.
Good to see you, my princess. What's the name, please?
My name is Helen.
Helen. Good to see you, Helen. First of all, let me say good morning to yourself, your team, and your cherished audience. Those who are watching on social media and those who have tuned in to their radios. In fact, I honestly didn't know I was the one coming here, but
I know we were just watching you on the television, and now you are here in our studios.
When the invitation came, I had no option or no choice because this is a platform I respect and admire so much.
We're grateful that you were able to join us. I wanted to just catch you up to speed on what you've missed so far, but I think you are already abreast with this latest development in the Gold Board saga. So before you came, we played the voice of Gold Board CEO Sammy Gyamfi, as well as the Honorable Alexander Afenyo-Markin, minority leader. He's made some rebuttals to these claims made by Sammy Gyamfi. We then also spoke to Solomon Owusu, Director of Comms for the UP Party. He's also a co-petitioner in a petition that we now know has been put out to the relevant investigative authorities because of a claim made by Sammy Gyamfi. So I also pick your preliminary thoughts on this. Alexander Afenyo-Markin says it's diversionary tactics that are being employed by this government. Do you agree?
It is obvious that it's a diversionary tactics. You see, whoever understands PR or whoever understands this politics would obviously be able to see in between the lines. Why am I saying so? The allegation against Afenyo-Markin only came about through the defense of Sammy Gyamfi, who is the Gold Board CEO. What is the issue at stake? The issue at stake is simple. IMF has indicated in its reports that our gold purchasing program has made losses of $1.7 billion.
Now, see, you phrase it differently. You phrase it differently.
Which is 22 billion Ghana cedis.
Right.
The IMF indicated and used the word losses and went further to detail how the losses came about.
Right.
So I wouldn't sit here as somebody who has sat in the classroom and has a certificate in communication for people to twist the argument or shift the goalposts by making allegations against the lead campaigner who is calling for a parliamentary probe into the losses. It is not new in our politics. Whenever people's back are on the wall, they find ways and means to shift the goalposts. And this is not something new. Initially, they were arresting people that who seem to have a contrary view or critique of government. Whenever the government's back is on the wall, all what they do was to initially arrest people. But now, because there's somebody who is involved that they cannot arrest, they have to go personal.
They can't arrest Afenyo Markin?
Can they? On what basis?
Can they not?
On what basis? On what basis? I'm just asking.
If these claims are proven, they are only allegations.
I can just walk to the police station and make a claim.
Absolutely not. They've got to be. They've got to be proven.
Come and arrest you.
Absolutely not. But I'm saying that should these claims be proven?
Please allow me to do my submission, because as I'm telling you, these are elementary tactics in politics. We've seen it before, and we know how these tactics play. Even in student politics, they'll tell you when your back is on, when you throw an attack, the best. That is why they even say the best way to defend is to attack. So that Afenyo would rather be to the defense. And that is why we are not concentrating on the allegations. If indeed you have evidence to prove that there was an, why don't you submit it to the police or the necessary agency that would engage in fair and adequate investigation? But to use that as a defense, please, when you were talking, I was here. When you, I like it. Okay, thank you. Nice one.
Carry on.
Oh, I like that. We'll enjoy the show.
Definitely, we will.
So, you see, the whole saga is simple. We gave Sami Jenfi money to go and purchase gold. And the money we gave him, we also set up an institution that gave him the legal backing or constitutional backing for him being the only agency that would trade in gold and gold-related activities in the country. So even you, if you have gold and you want to sell, Gold Board has to come in and they have to take their commission.
Indeed.
Yes. So when the Gold Board went to trade, they incurred some losses, which is $1.7 billion.
You say
and
Gold Board
IMF,
incurred losses?
Yeah. Oh. There have been losses. There have been losses.
Jamal, I just want us to put this to bed.
I don't like this interjections and interruptions.
No, I've got
when
to
I'm
make
making a
this
submission, I know exactly what I've said, and I know where I'm going to land. So when you interrupt me, you disrupt my flow. When I land, you can ask me questions. Then we'll engage.
Please land.
So the $1.7 billion cost. The IMF indicated 3 reasons why those costs has come about. 1, the exchange rates differentials, the interbank rates and the Aboki rates. What the IMF has continued to affirm is that Aboki rates reign superior. Because why? When Gold Board goes down there to purchase gold from the galamseyers and the large and small scale miners, the money or the rate they use is the Aboki rate. And when they come and they are selling the gold, they sell the gold in the Bank of Ghana rate. So there clearly there is a differential there, and the losses is incurred by the activities of Gold Board, not the activities of BOG. Then assay fees, that assay fees, it is Gold Board that takes that. So if there are losses there, it is questions that must be answered. It is part of the factors that contributed to the loss of $1.7 billion. Then it comes about the discount for off-takers. These are not wares and manufacturing. The discount for off-takers, when BOD goes to sell the gold that has been bought by Gold Board, they equally give their off-takers a discount. And that discount has also resulted to the factors that contributed to the 1.7 billion loss. This, when people make these claims, or when people reiterate the report by IMF, it doesn't mean they dislike Sammy Gyamfi. It doesn't mean we are witch hunting him. Sammy Gyamfi might not be my party person, but it doesn't make him my enemy. Today, I sit here as a young man who is in politics saying that I'm happy Sammy Gyamfi has been given a mandate as the CEO of Gold Board.
You're happy?
I'm happy. As a young man, I should be. But it doesn't mean that when his stewardship accumulates losses in Ghana's name, those activity or actions that brought about the losses should be ignored. It's as simple as that. So when we are raising these matters and calling for the parliament to open up probe, it is not a witch hunt. So don't come back personally attacking. That is why when a mature person within the NDC heard what was going on, the replies, the arrogance, the abuse of power, the feeling of authority by Sammy Gyamfi, he cautioned them, which is wonderful. He cautioned that, that is not how you talk. But because he is also having an ambition, I'm told he wants to contest as chairman of the NDC, and the money all is in somebody's arena, within somebody's agency. He feared he might not get the necessary support, so had to come and apologize.
He apologized and retracted. All right.
I'm not making a claim. I'm saying, I'm stating, interpret it how you want. I have interpreted it this way.
That's not true.
The actions of him
flawed.
All right, Jamal,
it can be flawed with you.
Thank you for
I don't care.
Initial thoughts.
But what the fact of the matter is that nobody is witch hunting Sammy Gyamfi.
All right.
The cost or the losses that has been indicated is as a result of activities or action undertaken by Gold Board and BOG. So we will not allow somebody to sit somewhere and make it look as if there haven't been any costs or losses incurred.
I want us to go back on to, if you're watching us on the socials, hello, good morning again, and interrogate this matter a bit further. I thought that last week we had done enough justice to it, but it is only right that we revisit some of these issues. And Godfred, I'll certainly give you an opportunity to rebut. And Jamaldeen, I noticed something different in the way you communicated this morning. Quite differently to what your honorable... bear with me. You didn't want to be slide tackled, so let me also flow. I noted that you indicated there had been losses. Contrary to what your honorable minority leader had said, that Gold Board incurred losses, I note that you haven't said that outrightly this morning. You said activities related to. The critique so far, bear with me, the critique so far has been that you have, the minority caucus has legitimate claims. We are not doubting that. But the way in which it was phrased has now made the conversation detour. Certainly, because there have been losses that I am definitely concerned about as an average Ghanaian. We talked about assay fees, differentials in the exchange rates, as well as discounts that have been given. These are legitimate arenas for us to interrogate. Who are these persons who have been given discounted amounts and so on and so forth? Do you not believe it's a legitimate claim that had this press conference been centered around these key issues as opposed to what seemed like a target on Gold Board, it would have elicited a different response?
How did it seem like a target?
You said Gold Board has incurred losses. That is how it was presented. Even you don't say that this morning.
IMF indicated in its report that the gold board has incurred losses. I'm not the one, or Afenyo Marking, or the minority.
That is not on the
it's not the one.
Gold board. That is why you don't understand.
Gold board has
it's
incurred.
a Bank of Ghana loss.
Oh, my brother. Gold board has incurred losses. Gold board, in its rebuttal, claims that they have not incurred losses, but it is the BOG that has incurred losses. Now, first of all, let's ask ourselves, did Gold board indicate that they've incurred losses initially before the IMF report came? They claim no, they've not. Gold board went further to even say that the program has not incurred losses at anywhere, and they are even doing good to the people of Ghana by making profits.
Right.
But the IMF, who doesn't sit in its room or offices to manufacture reports, who comes to the Bank of Ghana, comes to the Finance Ministry and engages all stakeholders involved to structure a report, go to the Ministry of Finance and stakeholders, including Bank of Ghana, to review the report before publication, indicated that there's been loss. The losses, they made details of how the losses came about, and the losses involve the activities of Gold Board and BOG, and those activities clearly indicated that Gold Board and BOG have incurred losses. So if you decide to say Gold Board has incurred losses, you are not wrong. If you decide to say BOG has incurred losses, you are not wrong. At the end of the day, losses have been made, which involve the activities of the two agencies.
Certainly. Because they're working in tandem, and that's, Godfred, something we can't deny. There are legitimate questions to be asked, but I wanted to pick on something Jamal had mentioned earlier, to also get your thoughts on that at the beginning of, his submission, that these are diversionary tactics. And he asked a very important question, because if the Gold Board CEO, Sami Gyamfi, had some intel or information concerning the Honorable Alexander Afenyo Marking, why did he not come out with that? It took the press conference and subsequently him responding for him to bring that out.
You see, I think Sami Gyamfi, as we all know, is a person of great substance.
Therefore.
And I don't have a problem if you interrupt me. So even as I talk, you can be asking questions. I don't have a problem. Therefore, I'm taking a cue from what you have said. Therefore, it was not enough for him to react based on only one press conference. He had to take everything sequentially. He had to take everything sequentially, put everything together, and then come out to respond. And in his response, we know in our heart of hearts that he has deflated the bubble the MPP has created. This loss is not in the books of Gold Board. And you need to come to terms with that reality. It's not in the books of Gold Board. And fact-checking results have indicated to us that what you, the MPP, is trying to do is misleading. It is inaccurate. And right now, I tell you that as you sit here, you cannot point anywhere in the books of Gold Board to tell us that there is actually a loss in the books of Gold Board.
We start with IMF and
now, my brother, listen to me. Listen to me. I understand you, because you are struggling to defend your party. It's not easy to defend MPP during the season.
The person here.
But what I want you to know is that nobody is arresting Afenyo Marking. No, don't put it out in the public, trying to throw dust into the eyes of people that they are who is trying to arrest him. There is a petition by the United Party, a defunct group from your own party, asking for a probe. And even Sami Gyamfi has indicated that he will make himself available for a bipartisan probe on this matter. So what is your problem? You should not have a challenge admitting that the minority leader has tried to mislead the public and has been fact-checked and told that he is wrong.
It is not the NDC who is saying that Afenyo marking is trying to mislead Ghanaians. No. It is the media.
Helen is even sure.
It is the media.
Helen is even sure.
It is the media. And we all know very well that what he is saying is inaccurate. So let us come to terms with this reality.
You've made us speechless.
You have never, as a party, referred to the Auditor General's report, which indicates that Gold Board has actually made a 5.4 billion Ghana cedi surplus.
You don't have shame.
You don't like surplus? You don't like surplus?
You people don't have shame.
Which people don't have shame? It is the MPP. For bringing up what
what do you say about
let me just round up. Let me round up on this. Let me round up.
Okay, let me allow him
Helen,
a minute to round because I wanted you to respond to the surplus. But Godfred, please round up for me. I'll bring Jamal in.
So let us talk about our own system of accountability, which is the Auditor General's report, which has clearly indicated, which has. I did not say IMF.
No, but
we appreciate that.
We should ignore
but I want you to understand that even the IMF has not pointed that loss is sitting in the books of Gold Board, which you know. So, the Auditor General's report vindicates the Gold Board CEO, and that is what we are standing by.
Helen,
let me
you
hear
see,
you, Jamal.
when you listen to the arguments, they seem to grasp for defense, looking for any other thing to stand on to make their defense. And which way? It's either they tell you Gold Board has benefited Ghana, so we should ignore the losses, or they tell you that the losses hasn't been indicated by the Auditor General's report, so we should ignore the losses, or Sami Jenfi is a fine gentleman, therefore whatever he does, we should ignore it. Those are the defenses they are giving us. Even on TV, I heard similar defenses and I was marveled. Look, you cannot deny the facts that IMF office is not at Asalam Dam, or they do not use the same office as the MPP. You cannot deny the fact that MPP has no role or interest in ensuring that IMF record a losses when there's not.
IMF record loss. And where?
The IMF independently has a role it plays when a country is with it. That role gives them the mandate to check the books of a country. And in checking that books, they would bring out reports. And the reports, they will indicate to you the things that you are doing that are not good. You see, this whole code saga, when you look at the issue, at no instance should Gold Board and its activities incur costs, incur losses. In which way? Aside the mandates that Gold Board has been given, you know they have a 1.5 withholding tax holiday. In transactions of gold, there's a 1.5% withholding tax. In the issue of Gold Board, that has been taken away by the government. So when you look at the quantity of gold transaction done, experts have indicated that withholding tax alone could amount to over $2 billion. When you add that to the 1.7, the cost is even more than the 1.7. The losses are even more than the 1.7. What are we doing to ourselves? Simple, let us look at this issue, find a way to stop the loopholes and save those losses in order for it to benefit our mother country, our mother Ghana. You people are finding ways to politicize it and make it look as if...
Jamal, can I ask a question, please? And Godfred, please bear with me. I wanted to ask on the back of what you're saying, what are some of the maybe solutions that the NPP is proposing to?
Well, we've all seen
stop the leakages.
We've all seen what is happening currently, where Galamsey issue has now passed our expectation. It is now even beyond what words can describe. Nonetheless, we believe a proper implementation of Code Board and its acts should stop Galamsey from happening. A proper implementation of Code Board and its activities through the regulations should stop this forex differentials. If this is what the Bank of Ghana says, and truly that is the value of our currency, why then do we have to resort to using the Abochi currency when we are engaging in the purchasing of gold at the grassroots? There's no way you can keep on doing that and you will incur losses. Then we should review the services and asset fees, where whatever is being done is incurring costs. We have to find a way to close that loophole, review it with experts and stakeholders. They shouldn't bring NDC experts who would now come and be saluting the boss because of the NOCO fuel and will not be able to give us the needed
you are even diverting from
consultation.
The topic.
She asked me a question and I was answering. Probably you didn't listen to it. You don't set the questions here. Then the other issue are the the discount for off-takers. BOG should review that discount and cushion it in a way that will not incur losses to the country. We can't, within a year, lose $1.7 billion when we went to IMF for $3 billion for 3 years. When we can, within a year, make losses of $1.7 billion. That $1.7 billion would have been able to complete Agenda 1111 across all the 111 constituencies. Would have been able to complete, if not all, the Kumasi and Accra Highway. Would complete a significant portion of the Kumasi and Accra Highway, which will protect life and also bring ease to Ghanaians. Aside from that, it would be able to solve a lot of problems, even the doomsday problems we are facing. Today, everything is expensive. Everything has become difficult. And when there are losses and there are questions to answer, you find a way of diverting attention by insulting those that carry the message. Why?
Godfred, how do you respond to some of these solutions? Because that's another critique that I've chanced upon on social media, that if the NPP have these critiques, what are some of the solutions to it? We showed on the screen what the IMF attributes these losses to. These losses that sit on the Bank of Ghana's books to these service and asset fees, off-taker discounts, and other program cost valuation effects. And also we talk about the exchange rate differentials.
When you go to melt the gold, the purity of the gold.
Ask me, why in a hurry?
Jamal wants to add a bit of clarity. Let me allow him for 1 minute.
Usually when they are doing the purity of the gold, so when they bring you a grams of gold,
yes,
and they tell you this is the grams,
yes,
when you go to melt it, you definitely remove some impurities in it.
Right.
So the value of the gold will now come down, or the kilograms of the gold, or the grams of the gold, the weight of the gold will come down. So there's a loss.
But what I understand,
you go and buy it 1 gram and you come when you are saying when you do this,
but I
remove
understand
the impurities.
Gold Board will send out reps to go and monitor this process, and that also incurs cost because they've got to be remunerated for the work that they are doing.
Gold Board doesn't send people to money. Gold Board has people, like licensed people. That was when the Bawa Rock issue came about.
Right.
Licensed to purchase gold from the small-scale miners and the Galamsey on the ground.
Godfred, respond for me, please.
You see, in fact, I've even now tried to put bits and pieces together to understand what he's talking about.
Because you don't understand the trade of gold.
Because the issue we are even talking about this morning
talks about the petition. The petition
what I got
for
it.
investigation.
Then what I got it. If you brought your own question, set it and go.
Master, you
because
right.
I was told that we are coming to discuss the gold board losses.
Oh no!
So if you want to divert attention by going that tangent, it is up to you.
Listen. So you have simply
it doesn't
said
matter.
Your
The 1.7 will be
answer.
discussed.
And the truth of the matter is that we are talking about the petition by the United Party.
You know what it can do?
The petition by the United Party against the minority leader. That is key among what we are talking about today. But now you want me to get back to that issue, which I will not run away from. Now, if you talk about 1.7 billion loss and it is not in the books of Gold Board, someone asks a question. Why are you forcing there to be there when there is not there? It is neither here nor there. This propaganda you are trying to dwell on will not work.
What is there?
And you see, the minority leader, Appiah Makin, is trying to run away. He should come back. He has been...
You are saying somebody came to extort you.
My brother, listen.
And what is here or there?
Tap cool.
Have you incurred the losses or not?
Look, we have said, Sammy JV has said
it is Ghana's money they are using to play Taskele.
Oh, listen.
We shouldn't allow this kind of politics.
Will you listen?
It is Ghana's money we are using to play Taskele.
Will you listen? If you will listen, it will help.
But Jamal, it's on the table because now it's been brought to the attention of
the table set by who?
So Helen,
this is a serious allegation.
By
who?
These are very serious allegations.
Kindly
restrain.
You
are calling for support.
Oh no! Kindly, you should be restrained.
Gentlemen, let me interject very briefly because, and I will give you a time because I want to just lay it out that the discussion was about gold board losses, which we dealt with in some detail last week. Today's issue now involves this petition.
Yes, the petition.
As per the allegations that have been brought
I don't
forth.
regard the petition because those that sent the petition are not people of good character.
Jamal, I don't think I can allow that.
You can disassociate your medium. I have said it.
No.
I have said it. I am entitled to my opinion.
Who is bad?
Because I know.
Is it because they are an offshoot of your party?
They are not offshoot.
United Party came from where?
They are not
the MPP.
I don't remember the last time Solo.
Where did Alan Cash?
You see, to become a party, become a party.
Where is the United Party?
There are certain regulations.
No. You are running away from your own
If you fail to follow those regulations,
you see, he has
you
nothing
are not
to deliver
a party member.
All right, Jamal.
So just listen.
Let me let Godfred come in, please.
You need to understand first of all that the United Party is an offshoot of the MPP. You cannot run away from that. If you go to space, if you go to the moon and come down, they are an offshoot. Now let's go to their petition. Their petition is based on the key fact that Appiah Makin has made allegations. And if Appiah Makin has made allegations, it is not out of place. He's a Ghanaian. If he smells something fishy in any government institution, he has a duty to call it out, which he has done. But I want you to understand that Sammy JV has responded and has gone beyond that to call him an extortionist. He has responded and watered down all his claims as false. Gold board loss false. So on and so forth. IMF says it's in the books of Gold Board, which is not there.
Helen, we need to have a
which is not there. Let there be serenity here. Let there be serenity. Which is not there. Now we also come to the whole encapsulation of the matter. Where Ghanaians?
It's a lie.
Where Ghanaians? Which Ghanaians you are saying is a lie? Where Ghanaians, who are an offshoot of your party, has come up with a petition? And now you are saying that they are not of good behavior. Were they sacked from the MPP? Even if they were sacked from the MPP and you think that that's a basis to say that they are not of good behavior, you are living your own world, very small world. Now, let's come to the details of their petition. They are asking for a probe. And Sammy JV has said that they should constitute a bipartisan parliamentary probe. He is ready to appear there. Going further, he has petitioned the OSP the Attorney General, the CID, and the Speaker of Parliament.
That was what they wrote for you to come and see.
Oh, come on. Haven't you seen the petition?
And for those of you who are watching us,
Yes.
we put a summary up for you to also follow along with us in the discussion.
The petition is there. Nobody wrote anything for me to say. Look, I want you to understand that the world has moved on from just taking one man's word for anything. No. So it is not just about Afenyo Maki making claims or allegations. No, we must probe every single word that has proceeded from his mouth. And if it is seen that he has said the truth, then yes, he is exonerated or vindicated. But if it is also seen that Afenyo Maki has peddled falsehood and lies, as the media has clearly said is misleading, then there is a cause for that petition to function. And the consequences of it must also be biting. Even if it does not come to the point where we talk about applying the law, but the public opinion will come to terms with the reality that he has lied. But we don't want to get to that stage, considering the fact that he is the minority leader. And I already said earlier that I like it when the MPP or the minority in parliament call themselves mighty minority. I like it. Because the nature of their might should be out of the substance they bring before the public for discussion. I like it that way. But in this particular case, what we are seeing is the reverse. The reverse in a sense that Afenyo Maki has led the party on a very slippery, muddy slope. And he also attempted to cross a river by mentioning the depth of the river with both feet. So that has brought you to where you are right now. That has brought you to where you are right now.
We're here.
No, my time is not over. Has you stopped me? You don't tell me thank you. So I need you to understand that your party, don't salute me and say we are peers. Huh? I need you to understand that your party has put you in a very, very, very uncomfortable situation. Where you cannot defend this issue.
Thank you.
Because we need a country that is progressive. And when young people are making significant progress in manning key national institutions, we must criticize them constructively.
Godfred, let me slide tackle you a little bit. Let me ask Jamal. Jamal, is the NPP quaking in its boots because of the allegations made? Is that why you don't want to speak to it? Is there some fear?
You see, as I indicated in my earlier discussion, this political gymnastics and tactics there is something we are all abreast with. When they tell you the best way to defend is to attack, we already know. How come there was no allegation on the person of Afenyo until he decided to take on this gold board matter? Sami Jemfi is a young man. That is why I wasn't surprised when the likes of Van der Poel felt out of maturity. When you are going about those allegations, especially when mandate has been given to you by the Ghanaian people, you hold gold board in trust for the Ghanaian people. So when issues come and legitimate questions are being raised on your stewardship and you believe it's a personal attack, therefore you would equally turn around and personally attack somebody. It is not right. It is not maturity. Politics doesn't make us enemies. Now, on the person of Sami Jemfi, who even makes those allegations, first of all, this is the same person that's claimed Haptel was a company that was formed by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, didn't he? He went on platforms and boldly, knowing very well that Haptel wasn't owned by Bawumia. But he told Ghanaians that when they pay their electricity bills, part of the money goes into the pocket of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. This is not, people are not even using the same whip he used on people against him. People are just raising legitimate questions. Come and answer them. Your majority in parliament have blocked probes. among others. Why is the majority shielding him? The list or the report captured sectors that incurred the loss. When you look at those sectors, which one wasn't as a result of gold ball activity? It's just one or two. So when we are talking about losses to a country, we are making legitimate claims. We can't just overlook a 1.7 billion loss and say because you are handsome, we should let it go.
Speak to the report. It's not about being handsome
or
not.
Because certain people
speak
have
to the
decided
report by the United Party.
Bros, probably you just started politics. Because if you are in politics...
Tango, you said probably.
Yeah, because if you are in politics, this technique is not new. Sending motions, sending petitions, filing cases at the Supreme Court for interpretation, they are not new. They are elementary tactics when it comes to politics. And I'm telling you, I know your audience and your viewers, some of them are experienced enough to know these tactics. It is...
Don't try to court public sympathy.
It is a cycle.
Don't try to court
that
public
happens
sympathy.
in politics.
Speak to the
when your wall,
petition.
When your back is on the wall, you attack.
Speak to
will
the petition.
the honourable minority leader avail himself for any investigations that will ensue
Who
from
has invited
this?
him?
I'm asking, will he?
Who has invited him?
Will he?
I'm equally asking, who has invited him?
In future, if he's asked by any of these investigative bodies,
based on what?
Based on the allegations made by the
who?
CEO. Jamal, allow me to ask you the question.
No, I'm just trying to ascertain.
I'm also trying to ascertain from you. I'm asking you, based on what we've heard from Gold Board CEO, should the investigation that some alleged scheme had taken place with the
if
minority
he were to be a serious citizen and he wasn't engaging in politics of character assassination, if he wasn't engaging in politics of propaganda, lies that he's been engaging, he still feels he's in opposition, so he can make allegations all over. If he did, he was a correct citizen, a law-abiding citizen. Yes, I'm saying it on authority. I, Jamaluddin says if Sami Jemfi is indeed a good citizen, he would have reported the issue to the appropriate courts to investigate. But you don't go.
I'm not sure I'm going to get my answer
You don't go
from
making allegations in the airwaves.
Jamal, mine was a simple question. I just want
I'm
to
also
find
giving you a
no,
simple
no,
answer.
No, you are not giving me a simple answer, Jamal. My simple question is.
Okay, I'm giving your audience a simple answer. You can decide not to take it. I'm saying if Sami Jemfi were to be a law-abiding citizen, if he were to be a good citizen with good standing, if he sees a crime that he believes is a crime, would report it to the appropriate courts to take it over. But because he feels he needs to turn around the attack on his activities at Gold Board, I'm careful not to talk of his person because nothing.
No, you have already said that. You said
nothing.
He's a good person.
Oh yeah,
good citizen
good
was
citizen,
how you captured it.
Based on the question you asked me. Now, I'm saying something different.
Okay.
That if he feels that his back is on the wall and this law says he needs to go fight tooth and nail to ensure that he would not be blamed for the losses incurred that has been clearly indicated in the report, no problem. We are ready. He can say all whatever he wants to say, accuse whoever he wants to accuse. It is not new because we've heard him accuse Dr. Bawumia of owing Haptel. We've heard him accuse Nana Akufo-Addo of taking bribes and stuff. We've heard so many allegations against him.
So why
and we are not surprised.
They should petition.
We are not surprised that in the instances where we are calling for probe of his stewardship that incur losses, he is resorting to the trade we already know him to engage.
Thank you, Jamal. Time check, it is some 4 minutes to the top of the hour, 10 a.m. A very energetic start to the week, must I say. But very shortly, we have to say goodbye and leave the studio. And this conversation is unfolding. I think we were able to get a bit more out of Solomon Owusu this morning as to the trajectory of the conversation. In fact, he says he's going to be back in the jurisdiction come September 5th, and there's a lot more expose to come.
Nobody takes
and so I've got to say goodbye to the audience.
Everybody takes him serious.
Do you know that trade?
The petition is a very serious petition.
Helen, is the mic off?
Is it because?
No, both your microphones are on. But I have to say goodbye.
I want the mic to be off.
No, I want to.
You are not confident of what you are going to say.
Politics,
that is an offshoot. He's an offshoot of your party, and he's a whole communication officer of a party.
And me, look, we have relationships.
You should not be doing this to yourself.
Right. There were instances when I was in government. There were instances.
Haven't you read the petition
about me?
Haven't you read the petition?
Even my friends with
haven't you read the petition?
Were supporting me.
My brother.
This is normal when it comes to politics. That is why I said.